Previously, in the GodBreaking, leaving the town of Nanjen, our group headed north for the mystical land of Mistrala, source and locus of all arcane power in Tandesh. There they gained entry through the border, but were stopped at the foot of the Silver Spire by a Magnus of lightning named Listrael. She submitted the party to 3 tests in order to gain entry, and while Euphemia dealt with the challenge, Deimos and Elwyn teleported back to Nanjen and assassinated Lord Pan in his privy chamber. In the process,
Oh my
um,
god.
in the process, Kian Mei was angered, and Elwyn barely escaped with his life. Escaped her rage. Meanwhile, in Mistrala, the group continued and met a curious gnome druid named Renly, one of the current instructors at Mistrala. She's head of the druid magic department. And through her, they found Sir Kotinin, who was the former headmaster of Mistrala, and they learned about the current plight of the land. How Headmaster Aaron had locked himself away at the top of the Silver Spire about 2 years ago, and has not been heard from since. Seeking more information, they learned that Battlemaster Telifos might be the person they might have to talk to. We left off last session with it being late at night. You guys were about to turn in to your chambers, your quarters, or I guess it would be the dorm rooms within Mistrala, when there was a commotion out in the courtyard, and it was announced that Battlemaster Telifos had returned to the city. Okay? So you guys are currently... Do I still have my map? Okay. So, this is a drawing of the courtyard, right? It's fairly large. This little doodad area that I drew up on the top right, up here, it's kind of like the balcony that you guys are standing in. There's a whole room on the second level that goes off, a hallway that goes off this way to the dorm rooms. So you guys had come out this way, and you're standing at a balcony that kind of rings this whole area. Oops, did I just hide that?
Indeed you did.
1 second. There we go. The balcony just kind of stretches all around the edge of this courtyard, around like this. And there's other entrances and other doorways and stuff that go all around, but they head off to different departments and different wings of the spire. Down here in the center, where the circle is, there's this gate here. This great grand entranceway. So you guys are currently inside the Silver Spire itself. So Alberic, the Silver Spire is this massive structure that dominates the center of the Mistralan landscape. It's huge. I mean, the tip of it pierces the clouds. So it's massive. You guys are inside the Silver Spire, the base of it. You guys are here, and where the circle is a group of students and apprentices and that kind of stuff, and they're all gathered together as Battlemaster Telifos has returned to the city. You can tell he has some celebrity to him. There's people standing there in awe of him. There's a hush, kind of like a low hush as he enters, as he steps into the room. But everyone is definitely looking at him in great wonder and excitement and anticipation and all those things. You hear a couple of questions. Well, actually, you guys are too far away. You can't hear anything. But this is what he looks like. Okay. What do you guys want to do?
I walk up to him.
It is late at night, so just saying. But yeah. Okay, you walk up to him.
I say, hey, where do I find you in the morning? I'm tired as shit.
Where do you find what?
Where do I find Telfos in the morning? I'm asking him where he's going to be in the morning. Because I want to go to bed, and I'm too tired for him right now.
Okay, so you're walking up, and there's actually a fairly fair-sized crowd around the area. So you can't actually get within, like, personal contact distance from him. You had to press
Or
through the
start
crowd if you
throwing
wanted to do so.
people.
You start throwing people?
Well, not throwing them, but politely tossing them, like
Like,
the crowd. Crowd surfing.
okay, so are you working your way through the crowd, or are you actually picking people up and just moving them aside as you walk through?
I'm working my way through and then politely picking up and moving people.
Okay. All right. So you hear a couple squeals as like a um um like basically college students. These kids are like college students are in your way. Some guys are like, "Hey, buddy, what do you think you're doing?" But then they turn around and look at you and they're like, "Oh, never mind, sorry." And like a couple you pick up a girl and move her off the way. She screams a little bit and she startles and she you set her down and you swear, yeah, she casts a firebolt in your face just out of scaredness.
That's fine. I'm used to it.
Firebolt to the face. Oh! Oh! Mm. This
Oh,
is
oh.
let's see, she would be fairly low level, but it's a crit, so this much damage. Fire damage to your face.
Joke's on you. Now I don't need to shave. And I keep walking.
Yeah, so she blasts you in the face with fire damage. Okay, so we're working your way through the crowd, and as you get close, so Deimos, as roll me a perception
Oh, yeah.
check.
I was also saying Albert's, I think, walking next to me, and we're all just like, just pushing people.
Yeah, who else is going with him? What are the rest of you guys doing?
I think Albert's walking behind him just for crowd control as well.
Okay.
Hey
Fel-
guys, sorry I'm late. I don't know where I would be.
Okay, so Elwyn, here, let me show these pictures again. Battlemaster Telifos has just re-entered, and in the circle of the courtyard is a large group, a crowd of students and stuff like that, just like eagerly awaiting him. He's quite the celebrity in Mistrala. Deimos is trying to work his way through the crowd to go talk to Telifos. This little squiggly area in the top right is the balcony that leads off to your dorm rooms in that direction. But it's on the second level, and down on below is the courtyard. This is the base of the Silver Spire. It's quite a large courtyard. Okay.
Cool.
Feldorn, Euphemia, Elwyn, where are you guys? And Renly.
Well, the Feldorn's back with the guard that tested us.
Okay. Renly, what are you doing?
I'm at the balcony and barely able to look over, so I look between the little columns of the balcony, hopefully being able to see him.
Okay.
And looking at Deimos pick his way and then seeing the firebolt, I'm going to wind speak over and be like, Telifos, there are visitors coming to see you. I'm at the east balcony. I wave.
Okay.
And yeah, in that direction, I point from the balcony at Deimos.
Okay. So, let's see here. So you are an instructor here at the school, and you know that Telifos is a man of legend. Um, Definitely amongst and rumored to be the most powerful, definitely battle mage within Mistrala entirely. He's one of the head Magni, the instructor of the Magni. He anyone who goes through him, any Magni who come up or aspiring Magni have to go through him and his training basically. So that's kind of his department. He let's see, what would you know about him?
Well, I'm assuming this is what I'm thinking of here. If she's like the dean of the magic, like the nature magic school, even if it's like a lower level thing, it's like knowing the president at a major university. The chances like of them at least knowing each other at least a little bit is pretty high.
Yeah. But he's like the head of the football. He's like the coach of the football team. She's like the teacher of the poetry club. That's kind of like the difference in level.
Botany.
Yeah, botany. Yeah.
Poetry club?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, you're on your own.
So that's kind of what it's like.
Yes.
He's the coach of the football team.
But yeah, she would totally just do this anyway, so yep.
Okay. So, So as you send off this wind whisper over, what's the range on that? Are you within range? Wind
Oh
speed.
yes, it's as long as he's outside.
Unlimited on the same plane. No more than 15 words in the air. Wind blows into the ear of the one creature that you know. Okay. You see Telifos walking very quietly, very astutely. His gaze just focused forward. There's no hint of expression on his face, and as the hood of his cloak just flutters, just in the slight gentle breeze that your wind speak creates as it casts over to him. You see him pause in his step for a moment, and you see him glance over to where you are, Renly.
I wave.
Okay. He sees a small hand reaching above the balcony, just waving.
Oh no, I'm through the bars. I'm waving through the bars and start to reach up.
Okay, okay. You're kind of hard to see, but you're hoping he sees you. As you point out Deimos coming through, he glances over, and he sees Deimos and Alberic starting to make their way making their way through the crowd. So they're about halfway through the crowd. He sees a squeal, and there's a burst of fire as a young apprentice hits Deimos in the face with a crit firebolt.
Beautiful aim.
You hear some screams, and people duck out of the way. And Telifos pauses, and he just looks in your direction, Deimos. His face kind of expressionless. And he just waits for you to finish walking towards him. Alright, Euphemia, what are you doing at this time?
I'm just gonna be at the edge of that crowd. I'm not really gonna get close.
Okay. Alright, and Elwyn?
I'd probably be hanging out with the old lady.
Okay, so you're up on the balcony, alright. Feldorn, while all that's going on, you are outside on the edge of the town, which is the town is called the Foot of the Spire. So it's called the Foot, but it's a fairly large town, and you are seeking out Listrael. After asking a few questions, you come across her. She's seated by a small cabin. There's a wooden hewn chair outside, and you see her sitting out there, and she's bandaging her arm, wrapping a bandage around it. You can see that it's darkened with blood, and she's just kind of wrapping it up. You gather it's one of the areas that Euphemia just went to town. This is definitely a wound that incurred from the battle with Euphemia. She looks up at you as you approach, and her eyebrows kind of harden, and she looks at you and she says, "Come back to finish me off, have you?"
I shake my head and said, no, I owe you an apology. I was rude the first time we met.
She says she's caught a little bit aback, but then she recognizes you as the one who gave her the potion, the healing potion. And she says, "Well, I can't say that it was entirely your fault. I did provoke the antagonism a little bit." And she cinches the bandage around her arm, and she starts to work on one around her leg. You can see that there's a fresh cut across her calf. She starts bandaging it.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try to help. I don't have no medicine skills.
She says, "Is there anything else you came for besides to apologize?"
Actually, Feldorn would try to help. I offer her my help in bandaging.
Straight charisma check. As you approach, she pauses for a second, and she notices. She says, "It's quite all right. I can do on my own. But you are not looking well. Is there something wrong? Are you sick?"
I give her the story of the dwarves and the Werter-esque.
So basically over the next half an hour or 15 minutes, you spin this tale, and you see her at first listening to you a bit stone-faced, and then but as this story goes on, you see surprise and shock cross her face, just a mix of emotions, and then doubt, no way this is possible kind of thing. And when you wrap up the tale, it all comes around, and she says, "I've heard some fantastic tales in my day, but that has to take the cake. That's definitely one of the grandest stories I've ever heard. But it would make sense that you know Ikelia.
Yeah, I know her somewhat. I didn't spend much time talking to her.
Well, I guess I'd say I'm glad of it. She and I were contemporaries, you might say. We were in the same class years ago, coming up through the brackets, but it wasn't much of a competition. She greatly outshone me. She was the prettier, the more talented, and vastly more powerful of us, and I quickly fell into the shadows behind her. She got all the attention, all the glory, and I was left with the scraps. So you'll pardon me, but that's perhaps the reason I gave you such a rude welcome.
Feldorn gives an awkward smile and says, I wouldn't say that she was the prettier one.
Damn.
Oh! Okay, with that 20, you do catch a hint. You do catch.
Amos doesn't know what I'm saying. He's not there.
You do catch a flush come to her face, and she catches herself after a second, and she pauses. She says, "Well, you would be the first to say so."
I highly doubt that.
She kind of dusts herself off a little bit, and she says, "That drow female that accompanied you, the one who did this to me, is she related to you or of some special relationship? I note that you're the same race."
I just burst out laughing while she's talking. I'm like, God, no.
A sister
thing,
or a lover, perhaps?
That Loth worshipping garbage? No.
Well, can't say.
I'd rather have her die. Oh, damn.
Oh. She says, "Can't say I'm sad to hear of it." She extends her hand to you. She says, "Listrael."
I shake her hand and smile and I go, you look very adept with magic. I have a few spells that I've been working on.
She says, "Well, I've managed to graduate. I'm not at the top of the order of Magnus of Magni, but I did barely manage to make it into the door, so I know a thing or two."
I open up the book that I've kind of been writing the magical formulas on every now and then whenever we take like a little rest or something, and I show them to her.
Okay. She starts perusing them, and you see, puzzlement, and she says, "I recognize some of these concepts." She says, "I'm not the most keen on warlockery, but," she says, this is fascinating work. I'm not quite sure what to make of it."
I ask her to help me out. I'm like, maybe you can help me out with these. I still can't get it just quite. Seems as though I'm missing something.
Okay. She's happy to help. She says, Of course. It's a little late though, and it's getting cold outside. Perhaps a cup of tea inside, if you would be. It might be more comfortable in there. I could light a candle."
Feldorn smiles and agrees.
Okay. As you walk in, she snaps her fingers, and several candles around the room spark to life with electricity. And they light up, and she goes over and she busies herself with the making of tea in the corner. All right. Is there anything specific you're trying to do with the journal and the formulas, or just making conversation?
Just making conversation.
Okay. Cool. So we'll leave it there. We'll go back to the other encounter. Deimos, you have cleared much of the path, and you are breaking through the last couple of students and standing face to face about maybe 10 feet away from Telifos. and Alberic, you're standing behind him. Deimos, you there?
Oh yeah. So I can talk to him.
Yeah.
All right. How strong does this guy look?
What are you rolling? Perception? You're rolling insight, or what are you trying to do? How are you looking?
I'm just.
You're
thinking.
sizing him
I
up?
just wanna,
You're
I'm
sizing
sizing
him
him
up?
up. Yeah.
He looks. I mean, he's fairly young. You're guessing upper 20s. He's fairly fit. Just got like in his picture. As far as magic ability goes, okay. So this picture I gave you is a little off. Well, it's on. He has all those things with him. But you don't detect any arcane focuses or that's one thing you notice. There's no arcane focus. There's no holy seal. There's no component pouch or anything on him. He's got the book. He's got his staff.
All right. Well.
And it's like a staff is like a walking stick, basically.
I walk up to him. I'm just like, hey, dude. I know you're not the most physically fit, but some people say you're kind of strongish. And I've been up all day. So have all my buddies here. And if you could like tell us where you're staying at so we could see you in the morning, it would just help me out a whole lot.
You hear the students around you begin to a murmured whisper, and a couple of them giggle. A couple of them are like, they're whispering. You hear a couple of people say like, "I can't believe he's talking to him." That
Tell him to shut up.
Doesn't he know? Oh, he's an outsider. Of course he doesn't know. Telifos just tilts his head slightly, and his like white eyes basically just regard you. There's slight like light gray pupils in them, but overall that's a very odd combination of eye color.
Alright, and I'll be like, hey dude, I know you think you're a big badass, and yeah, you probably are a big badass, but I'm not saying we're stronger. We might be, but we might not be. But there's like some big lich guy, we killed him, no problem. Now there's a gigantic were-terras guy, and he's a big problem. And the dwarf dude, I snap my fingers, I can't actually remember his name. He died.
Modron.
Yeah, that dude. And we could use your help, because they're going to kill Mistrala, and we just want to go up higher in the tower.
Okay. As you're saying that, you hear from the opposite side of the crowd from where you are, you hear a bit of a commotion. You hear a voice saying, "Pardon me, coming through. Sorry. I was off taking care of some business. I'm sorry, Telifos. I'm here." And breaking through the crowd is a young lady. Blonde, blue eyes. Looks like this. She pops through the crowd, and she looks at you, and she looks at Telifos, and she starts to say something to the effect of, like, "I'm sorry, I will," and she gasps. She looks at you. Deimos?
I squint really hard, and I try to... Do I know you?
I foresee
It's
it,
like-
Daddy.
Deimos!
It's the girl that
It's me!
It best not be the girl with the whistle. Best not be the girl with the whistle, or the chime, or whatever it was.
is the one that in the first village that we left to die.
Better not be.
You guys remember her?
Yeah.
One we left in the cave that we never figured out if she lived. That's my guess.
Oh my god.
That was about...
like episode 4,
Yeah, something like that.
5.
Something like that. So just a recap for the rest of everyone else.
Oh my god.
Because of a series of unfortunate events in which Euphemia brutally murdered a businessman in his sleep, the businessman's older brother put out a hit on them, and this was when they were all level 2 or something like that. And a bunch of bounty hunters came to town and basically captured them. And in the process of escaping from these bounty hunters, and this Ava was a musician in the Temple of Tyr, Prodigy, a young girl back that time, about 16 years old. And she was they rescued her, and they fled the town. And the businessman's older brother, who put the hit out on them, ended up being this super powerful like crime lord person, who ended up destroying the whole town with a flock of hippogriff riders who just rained fire down and destroyed the whole town. So she was like the only person who escaped from that town. And then later, and her dad died and her mom died and stuff in the town. And then when later they were in the lair of a Lamia, passing through the riddles and tests along the way, there was one bridge that could only be passed by having someone maintain the bridge magically. So Ava stayed behind to maintain the bridge while the rest of them crossed over this big lava bridge. And then they fought the Lamia, and the whole cavern that they were in imploded. And that was the last they ever saw the girl. The 16-year-old girl that they left behind.
All right, so is Telifos in the way in between me and Ava?
Yeah, Ava pops out from the other side. She basically off to your right. Like, Telifos is right in front of you. She pops off to the right, a few degrees
All right.
off of where
Deimos
Telifos is.
will, being a very polite, charismatic person, forget about Telifos, run through Telifos, and pick her up platonically, and swing around very happily that she's still alive.
I think you mean platonically.
What?
Yeah, platonically.
Yeah, platonically, yeah.
Telifos sees you, and as you come charging through, he gives you an odd look, and he sidesteps you just in time as you rush over. You bear hug Ava, you pick her up, and you swing her around, and you hear her squeal a little bit, and she says, "It's been years." She says, "I thought I'd never see you again." She says, "I thought you had all perished in that cave-in. Who else is here? Is Ashok here? Is Seren? Is Uncle Seren here?"
Ah, no, he's taking care of the were Taras. Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
That does not
the
sound
big-
like him.
Yeah, I know.
Seren is back in the library
Oh, shoot,
Westfield.
I got Saren.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, my bad.
Seren was another player who was playing with us at that time.
I forgot about that guy.
His character just kind of broke off, and his character is now an NPC who's a librarian. So she says to you, she says, where is everyone else? Where's Ajax? He was with us as well."
Yeah, he's somewhere. He does stuff.
Oh,
He always scouts around things. He doesn't talk much.
oh, okay. You
He
and
always
he were
goes
so
fishing.
close. I'm surprised that he would have left you.
Oh, no, he's here sometimes. He's a big game fisher now.
That's Ashok. Ashok is there. Ajax is the dead one.
No, Ashok. I just said Ashok because character Ashok doesn't show up as much because he's always fishing.
Ajax died under the weight of a gigantic slog.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
Yes!
One second. Let me brush up on Deimos' skills.
Dude, all these people who weren't even here know the game better than you.
I'm playing my
Well,
character,
no,
guys.
I
I'm
know
playing
that
my
because I
character.
played Ajax when he died.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Oh, everyone, look at me.
She says, "It's amazing." She says, we must catch up, but oh, pardon." She goes over. She kind of squirms out from under your arm, and she heads over to Telifos, and you see her bow slightly to him, and she says, "Sir," she says, "I apologize. I was attending to a few things. I will be happy to converse for you." And she turns to you guys. She says, "My apologies. Master Telifos does not speak."
Why?
You don't know?
I'm guessing he has a bad lisp.
She says, perhaps. She looks at him, and Telifos nods, and he gestures off to the side. And in this courtyard, there's all sorts of different areas. There's pavilions. There's park-like areas, and all sorts of stuff. He gestures over, and a few paces, he starts walking away. The crowd kind of parts, and as he stops, as he's walking through, he gestures with his hand, and the crowds begin to disperse. and he points over to like an area where there's like seating and benches and that kind of stuff. And he makes his way over there. The rest of you guys start to walk in that direction. And as you're walking, Ava is walking alongside you. She says, "Oh, Master Telifos, he is powerful, incredibly powerful. He is the Magnus of Tone here in Mistrala, and I am his acolyte. I'm his apprentice. He's taken me in. You see, years ago, 2.5 years ago now, when I was trapped underneath those rocks and boulders, it was days. It seemed like, but someone found me. They tunneled me out. So this drow, this dark elf male, he with a shock of white hair. Leander was his name. He said that for some reason he had been following you, but he came across my path and took the time to rescue me. And he basically took me in, and he took care of me for a while. And I traveled with him for a couple of months, and eventually made my way here. When he learned of my musical ability and my he was impressed with my singing. And he sensed my I guess talent for arcane power. He brought me here, and that's when Telifos took me in. He says I have the gift, so I am his apprentice now. Anyway, oh, I'm sorry, that doesn't answer any questions. Telifos is a bard of magnificent proportions. He can do things. He can manipulate the weave and summon arcane power through the bardic influence, much more so than any have definitely in the world today, and perhaps for generations past. But he does not play any instruments. He sings. He speaks. He summons the power mostly with his voice. However, because of so great is his power, he does not really speak or use his voice for any other thing than to summon great arcane strength. So, for fear of killing, or at least greatly hurting people around him, he does not speak at all.
He's a diva, that's it.
Well, he's actually quite kind and generous, but you would have to get to know him. Black Bolt? I don't understand.
Feldorn's not really there. I'm just getting the reference.
Yeah, I always thought he was the coolest character, so...
Wait,
Shut
can
up.
you share his
Shut up.
picture again? Does this...
Who's Black Bolt?
You don't know Black Bolt?
What's it
Get out
from?
of here. Get out of here.
Dude!
Inhuman?
Go put your head down.
Marvel?
Get out of there.
1 second. Let me pull out my device of I can look everything up.
You're gonna Google it.
This magical device of information.
The
Ooh.
superhero?
He's an inhuman.
Like, I think he is the most powerful Inhuman.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. One of the more powerful characters in the Marvel Universe. Or in
No.
natural
I
Marvel
was
universe.
watching a Watch Mojo TV video, and they had him as like I think the 5th most overpowered character in all of comic book history.
Yeah, because all
probably.
he has to do is talk and sends you flying. God knows.
Yeah,
Whisper.
Yeah,
even.
he shouts and he like breaks the moon in half or something like that, you know? Just like...
Well, he was an Inhuman already, and then his parents also genetically experimented on him while he was in.
yeah,
Like, what happens, like, if he gets the flu?
no bad things.
Can't
Run.
talk.
So, okay. So that's Telifos. He's a bard, but he's Bard Black Bolt.
Ah, okay.
I was thinking we could give him the name of one of the Greybeards if he had a beard, but he don't have it.
All right. So she says. Anyway, so you guys finally make your way to the seating area. Renly and Elwyn, are you guys staying up on? You guys see your party and friends making your way off to the side. Are you going to stay up there? Are you going to join them? Or are you going to go do something else?
I'll join him.
Yeah, we'll head down.
Okay. You all kind of make yourselves comfortable, and Ava says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, well, I serve as Telifos' interpreter as well. Can I help? What would you like to say to him?" She says, "You must tell me of your journeys when we're done with this." By the
Oh,
way.
yeah, we can do that. But you know, when we're all this fucking old, we gotta sleep sometimes, and we've been up all day long.
'Tis
I
true.
think.
We as well have been on the road for several days now. We just came from the north, Oscaria, and it's quite the political environment over there. But anyway, sorry. Go on.
Well, we're gonna go to bed, but we just want to make sure we can find you in the morning.
Oh, she mentioned she leans over to Telifos, and Telifos makes a few hand motions, completely unintelligible to you. But she says, Telifos says that he is indisposed for much of the day tomorrow, but he'd be happy to meet with you in the late afternoon.
Okay.
Is that all?
What about you guys? You got anything?
Have you seen the rampaging flora and fauna lately? And Rennie ducks ahead, kind of shamed.
Telefos looks at you, and you see a little bit of mirth come to dance in his eyes. He gestures with his hand a little bit more, and Ava says, "Oh yes, we have. We had to restrain a larger, it looked like an oak tree on the way in, but for the most part, actually, there were quite a few. The Minotaur was saying that a few of them had been recovering. Apparently by moving them further away from the tower or something like that. I don't know much more."
Elvin, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anything else? Telifos gestures a little bit, and Ava says, "Oh, Telifos, he has a question for you. He says, how did some such as you come to gain entry into Mistrala?"
Well, we got a paper. So
My
we could come
sweet magic skills.
in. Yes. We're very magical.
Oh, she says, "Oh, you have a letter of reference. Might we ask who
Yeah.
it's from?"
Uh, who has the letter?
I think Elwyn has it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll show her the letter.
She says, "Oh." And she hands it to Telifos. Telifos glances at it. And he carefully, you see him with great care, refolds it. And recreases the, redoes the crease on it. And holds it just for a second, longer than one might expect. And he hands it back to you, Elwyn. She says, "From Lady Akelia, I see. Well, Telifos says he definitely would be interested in speaking with you all tomorrow."
That'd be fantastic.
She leans in and she whispers, she says, "Telifos and Akelia have a history together."
Oh, shit. Hey, guys. Teleforce was one of those guys we were supposed to kick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
what
okay.
did Akelia say to do to
Ava,
Telifos?
don't tell Telephos that you overheard us saying that.
Telifos is just there scowling at you. She says,
That's-
he has excellent hearing as well."
Oh! Did I say Telephos? I meant Meliphos.
Wait, you went to get? Did you dump her?
Telifos stands up, and he's a little bit of a scowl on his face, and he turns and he gestures like he snaps his fingers, and Ava says, "Oh, it's time to go. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We will talk more tomorrow. I promise. I promise."
Phew, it was wonderful.
And Telifos and Ava start walking away.
That went well.
Okay. Back to Feldorn. So Feldorn, you and Listral are making conversation. You're working over some of the puzzling concepts in your book. You're chatting a little bit. What would you like to say?
I have no idea. I'm sorry. I'm like, I didn't get much sleep last night, so
Oh,
I'm
that's
kind of half asleep at this moment.
That's fine. That's fine.
You're in character then.
Yeah, pretty much. Feldorn kind of just like while we're working, suffering from all that exhaustion, I kind of fall back a little bit and drop my ass to the floor.
Okay. Okay. So, at that moment, she startles a little bit and she says, "Oh dear, you are not well, are you?
I shake my head and I'm going, nope.
Poor thing.
Best decision I've ever made.
Just poor thing." I'm guessing by this point you told her about why you're feeling this way.
Yes. I mean, I
she's-
told her
Yeah.
the whole story of the Weredrask.
Yeah, and the lotus and everything like that. And that's why you're feeling
Yeah.
that way. She says, "Well, I have no knowledge of what ails you, but I hope you will at least be able to gain some rest here." She says, "Please allow me." She waves her hands a little bit, and you begin to lift off the floor. She casts telekinesis. She says, "I promise to be gentle." And she moves you kind of slowly across the room, and she settles you down on the what?
Oh, crappy fucking dice. Feldorn tries to act cool and smile and says, "Oh, but I like it rough."
You end up just being fairly pathetic as you say that, just like groaning and mumbling. And she says, "Enough of the sharp wit. You are not well enough. You need your rest." She floats you across the room, and she settles you kind of onto like a couch that she has on the other side. She settles you down there, and then she gestures really quickly, and a blanket and stuff kind of settles across you, and she brings a cool towel and she lays it across your head, and she says, "You need sleep. The tea I gave you should help with that, but for you, rest above all else is what you need. It's been not unenjoyable for the evening, but I think it's time for you to be quiet. Don't worry, I'll keep you safe." And she kind of passes her hands over your eyes and closes your eyes a little bit. And you just kind of hang out there until you, as best as you can, drift off restlessly to sleep. Okay. The rest of you guys, you wanted to do anything or say anything to each other before you turn in for the night?
You said there was a library here, right?
Oh, there's a very large library, of course.
Alright, I'm gonna try to find a book on dragons and where were they last seen, stuff like that.
Okay. You get there, and it's the same librarian that Euphemia you were talking to earlier in the day, and he's just about closing up shop when you get there, Alwyn. He says, "Yes, another one of you outsiders. What are you looking for?"
What you got on dragons? Anything that has to do with dragons?
And he says, "We're looking for ancient history and fiction, are we?" He says,
History,
"We
sure.
have quite the large and, of course, developed library. I'm sure far more than you would ever care to know on the subject. However, of course, as I said earlier, we do not allow just anyone to access our library. Do you have a card of admittance?"
I'm gonna show him the letter from Acalia.
He says, "This is an invitation, or a letter of entry to Mistrella. Only enrolled students, or those who are referred to by..."
I'm just gonna grab the letter and turn around and walk away while he's still talking.
He says, "And yes, don't come back and waste my time, please." And you hear him shutting the doors. Okay.
And yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep and plot ways of killing him.
Okay. You guys all sleep through the night. Next morning comes around. What do you guys do?
Try to find a magic sword that's stuck in a stone.
Okay.
I'm joking, I have no idea. What if there is one?
Well,
Euphemia,
if you're trying to get to the library, I might be able to help.
it's true.
Can I like write like a little note or something saying like, like requested by Renly, like, or could I just join them?
Yeah, you could do either one. Euphemia, what are you up to?
If they're going to the library, I'll probably follow.
Okay.
I know this is a wizarding school, but blade singing is a branch of wizardry. So does that mean they're like a battleground with dummies on it that I could hit things with?
Yeah, for sure. There's a full gymnasium. This is not just it's not just wizards. It's all arcane arts. So there's an area for warlockery, wizardry. There's bardic magic, druidic magic, sorcery, all everything basically.
Okay.
All the approved kinds of magic. There's no blood magic area or anything like that.
Okay, I'm gonna go find the gym.
Okay.
Dummy to whack my sword again.
All right. You
I'm
make
gonna walk over.
Until
Sorry.
until I know we are going to meet the guy.
okay. So
That's how I'm going to spend my morning.
So the two muscle bound guys, you head over to the gym and you find yourself training and hitting it off with some of the other guys there.
Actually, I was gonna go to the holy area.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So you go to the chapel to talk to Liam the Holy. All right. All right. So at the library, the same guy is there early in the morning. He looks a little like crusty around the eyes, and he's just certainly in a foul mood as you all approach. He says, "Come back again, have we?" He says,
I wave my stick. Good morning! And I'm very, very short, so I don't know if he's even seen me yet.
He's, oh, damn. Hello, Renly. His name is,
I try to remember his name. I think I might remember his name.
Chilrin is his name. He's like
Chilrin!
half elf, kind of.
How's it going? These are some friends of mine who have been very helpful with all the rampaging trees.
Of course they are. Of course you would befriend them. Are you giving them access to our library on your account?
Yes, I mean, we have some problems we're trying to solve right now. I mean, if they can figure it out, we've had some issues lately.
Very well, very well. He says, the library.
I don't mean to impose. I mean, you're such a charming lad.
Yes, that's nice of you. The library is at your disposal. Normal procedure. All books must be returned. You break it, you buy it. That sort of thing. Please, just
I'll bring you some brownies.
yeah, just try not to screw things up.
Okay.
All right.
I give a big smile. And then I turn around and give you all a thumbs up.
Okay. Elwin, and you start looking for dragon books. Euphemia.
Oh no, I wouldn't have gone to the library.
No?
The next
Okay.
morning. No, I'm
Alright.
mad at that guy.
Okay. So Renly has secured permission for any of you guys if you want to.
I'm gonna search for a book of charisma.
Oh, those are locked away. Those are in the
Restricted.
in the back in the restricted section. I'm sorry. This is your pass is for research and development only.
Yes, unfortunately, I don't have access to some stuff here.
Yes, only Magni are
Can
approved
we
to have access to
develop
those.
your ass into another dimension? Just
He
getting to
says-
that point.
He says, "Young lady, you are certainly welcome to attempt it."
I mean, it's not like any of our party have ever killed anyone for no good reason. I mean, you're giving me a lot of good reasons.
He says,
Well, you seem to be getting on excellently. I will leave you to it then.
he says, "My charge is to handle the library and categorization of all the books and
I'm
tome
gonna
and
pull out
scrolls here."
this long knife and just start sharpening it.
He says, of course, barbaric means I'd expect no less of you and your sort."
Yeah, I'm just gonna turn around and walk away.
Okay.
I would have just out of curiosity, I would have gone like to the sorcerer section of the school just to see to compare myself to the
Okay.
students here.
All right. So you ask, kind of just like sit in on a couple of the instructions and the classes that are going on.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. You come across a couple of low entry level classes, basically hopefuls and those with the spark or with natural talent to them have come, and you see an introductory course going on where a very creatures of varying age are there, and they're just being taught to tune in to the the weave and the elemental nature of it, and to basically follow their instincts as they approach it. One of the instructors actually has some pretty good points, and you find yourself adm- at least admiring his grasp of the subject. He's kind of like an older, kindly man, maybe upper 40s, and he treats his students with kindness and good regard. He handles questions well, and he throws in a few jokes in the mix. So basically, he's the kind of prof that you would want to go to take a class from, basically.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Feldorn, you wake up and she is gone, but there's like food and tea and stuff laid out for you. A note saying that she had to go off to work, guarding or patrolling something, and that she encouraged you to get some rest, and that to stay as long as you needed to today.
Yeah, suffering from that much exhaustion and not really having slept from all the nightmares, Feldorn does stay.
Okay. All right. So as the day passes, you guys notice that indeed the plant life have begun to calm down as they've moved them further away from the spire, and people are talking about you, the presence of these strangers. The students, as you walk down the hallways, students kind of like they watch you, and their heads turn as you walk by, and you hear them talking and whispering to each other. Um, some of the rumors going around are that all these incredibly powerful magicians have come to Mistrala to pay homage to the headmaster, or that you guys have come to battle Telifos in a fight to the death, a duel of arcane magics to see who's the most powerful in the land, or that you're bringing trophies and specimens of ancient and unknown creatures to be studied by the alchemists and the the magical creature department, that kind of stuff. All sorts of wrong information, all with an element of truth to it. Um, the day goes by, and you guys pass your time just kind of charmed. You're all slightly charmed by the nature of this city. Most of you are outcasts, or at least oddly looked upon wherever you've traveled, being adventurers and the magic users of you anyway. Being a magic user is fairly rare, and that the vast majority of the population has no knowledge of it. But here, you find a little bit of camaraderie. Even though you find people of different talents and different levels, at least there's some affinity that you share, and that you all have respect and love for your individual interaction with the weave. And all of you in some way interact with the weave, um, with the exception of Alberic. He's just a meathead.
I
But
mean, I wear magic armor and stuff.
there you go.
That's about it.
There you go. It's got so you have this slight kinship, and you guys can geek out a little bit about magical theory. You can talk about different runic structures. You can talk about some of the powerful things that you've done, and all this kind of stuff. So in fact, towards the end of the day, some of you have gotten along with them so well that like in Deimos and Albrecht, they have you they ask you to do physical demonstrations of how Deimos how magic can be applied to physical combat. Um, in the gymnasium, and Elwyn, that sorcerer instructor, is having you talk to one of his like intermediate level, like sophomore level classes about your draconic nature and how it differs from the stone nature or other or wild magic, sorcery, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Do I manage some guy in the gym at wrestling, even though he like enhances himself with magic?
Yeah, yeah. So you find like a halfling gym teacher who fights by like triple enhancing himself, and growth spells and all that stuff, and he fights you. So he's a little bit taller
So
than you.
like haste,
Yeah,
haste
yeah.
and
He casts
all
yeah
that.
he casts like 10 spells on himself. Then you and he go at it in a ring, just like as a demonstration between professionals and the kids are watching. And he manages to knock you off balance a little bit, but then you like toss him over and hurl him like, you know, ass over and out of the ring, and there's a big applause and everyone's happy, and he gets a big laugh out of it.
Quick question, just knowledge base.
Mhm.
What's the youngest they accept at the school here? Like, how young?
Typical age of entrance is 15 years old.
Okay.
The youngest
So
the youngest
it's
one is about the
it's
young,
high school and college, basically.
yeah, the youngest one that they have right now is about 15 years old. Akelia, back in her day, came here as an 11-year-old.
Well, she's basically the Stephen Hawking of Magic World, so.
Deimos, you head over to the chapel, and you see this guy, Liam the Holy, overseeing a pretty solemn religious ceremony.
Can I tell what god they're praising?
At the moment,
Yeah.
religion check. Yeah. You observe that they're performing a ceremony in honor of the god Lathander.
Is Lathander still alive?
As much as you know,
No,
Lathander
okay.
is in this world he is a greater god, one of the
Oh,
few.
okay.
There's only a handful of greater gods. The Lathander is the god of birth and renewal, basically the god of
Okay.
life.
Okay, I walk in there, and I keep tapping the guy on the shoulder until he starts talking to me.
He turns over to you slowly. He says, "Yes, young man."
I think I'm actually older than you. I don't know how this works here. Age is weird. You doing the wrong god.
He says, "We have an appreciation for all gods."
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but which one's on the number one list? Who's number one?
He says, "I have a personal affiliation for," and he pauses for. All right, hold on. I'm pausing for a second, and I grab my list back out. See who's still alive.
Oh shoot.
um, he says, "We honor all gods here. I have a personal affiliation with shoot,
I'm gonna make it
Timora. Timora.
easy for you.
Timora, goddess of fortune, of good fortune."
If Tempest was on this list, where would he be?
The god Tempest.
Yeah, that guy.
He says, Tempest is not actively worshipped here.
Whoa. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't think I actually heard you right on that one. That sounds a little bit silly. Where was Tempest on the list?
He says, "You must be going deaf in your old age."
Oh,
He says,
yeah.
"I know I am.
Could be.
Tempest is not actively worshipped here. Come, see." And he gestures over. He walks slowly across the room. He comes to a chart. And it's basically like a star chart, right? So the constellations, but he's pointing them, and there's markings and stuff through that you don't necessarily understand. But he as he's gesturing across the constellations, he's describing them as all representing different deities and different realms of influence amongst the gods. Um, the stars are a reflection of the various portfolios the gods have influence over, right? So he says, ever since the great war in the heavens, he says, some of the stars have gone dark, some have gone dim, and some are uncertain, he says. Some we know, our information is limited, but of course, he says, for example, we know that Pelor, god of the sun, is no longer in power. We believe and we fear that he is deceased. Along with that is Mayaliki, goddess of forests. And recently, Sylvanus, goddess of nature. Along with them, Tyr, god of justice. And he points at different sections on the star chart. He says, Oguma, god of knowledge, is here. Savras, god of divination, over here. And over here, of course, Shantae, goddess of agriculture. And he just starts listing off some more of them.
I mean, I get what you're doing. Now,
He says,
hear me out on this one. So let's say there's a really strong, powerful war god
huh?
who could probably help out the most in this war thing.
He says,
And,
you don't understand, I'm not finished, please.
oh, sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
He says, of the gods that we know are living, he says, there are many, he says. But there are also a large number, he says, in the realm between. Gods that we have not heard from in quite some time. Gods that may have diminished greatly in power to the point of not being effective anymore, or have chosen to be silent. That is both. Those are possibilities, of course. He says, over here, and he points to one area. He says, Lyra, goddess of joy, is unknown or has not shown influence. Lyra, goddess of illusion, in here. Tempest, god of war. Over here, we have Elistrai, goddess of the moon and drow and dark elves. Modrin, god of smithing and the dwarves. Baal,
He just died.
god of murder. You could not possibly know this.
No, check it out. Look.
Please speak only of what you know.
No. Trust me, dude. Check my armor. He just made it. He got killed by the Wertrask.
He looks at you. He says, "Who are you?"
Dude, I told you my name. Actually, I don't think I did. I'm Deimos. I stick out my hand.
He takes your hand and says, "I greet you." He says, I understand that you are a cleric, or at least claim to be one."
Yeah.
But he says, "But we are not just men of worship. We are scholars. And we would know these things, and I would ask you for reference and how you would possibly know of Modrin's passing."
Well, we're kind of there. Dude, we were there at day one. Big old dragon, five-headed son of a bitch, big red god, succubus lady, lich dude. Killed the lich dude, he's okay. But Wertrask, dude, it is some crazy shit, let me tell you what.
He says, "These words you say, I would be lying if I said they did not correspond with the things we have heard and learned. But even if what you say is true, it would not contradict what we know. Modrin has been quiet for a while, as has Sune,
Yeah.
goddess of love and beauty. Shar, goddess of darkness and loss." And he's pointing across different.
I have no
different
idea who
things.
those ones are, guys. Like, seriously, I know like 6 or 7 gods.
He says, "There's a heaven full of them."
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But I pointed at his scrawny arms, I'm just like, you're not doing this right. Like, if I knocked you out right now, like, which god's gonna come down and help you? None of them. Now, if you worship Tempest, our Lord and Savior, not only did Tempest not die for your sins, but he is fighting for your salvation and stuff.
He says, he smiles at you. He says, "And you are mistaken on a number of levels, my friend. I am sorry," he says, "but I and my god Lithander, He says, would certainly come to my aid.
Oh shit, bro. You want to have a mini friendly duel?
He says, that sounds like foolishness.
Yeah,
But
it
if
does,
you
doesn't it?
require evidence or proof of my devotion to Lathander, he says, I would be remiss if I did not at least display it to you.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You son of a bitch.
Okay.
And as that happens, you see
Deimos should
Deimos.
make a bet, and
Deimos
whoever
starts
wins
powering
must
up
has to change their god.
as he channels Tempest power through him, and he starts going Super Saiyan.
Are you are you casting that spell on yourself?
Well, are we start? Well, I'm assuming we're
what are you
starting
doing?
the fight.
Okay.
Well, I'm assuming we're starting the fight literally right now.
He says, I have no interest in battling you. He says, it would be a one-sided endeavor.
Which side do you think would win?
That's not important, is it?
Tell me.
He says, I was going to just show you proof of Lathander's presence. Here, come look. This way, you're too impetuous. And he comes over, he says, we put these flowers out every evening to honor the dead and those who have passed. Often by the morning time they have begun to wilt. We leave them, and after 3 days, however, they have fully dried away and deadened. He says,
Did you not put water on him?
He says, this is foolishness, listen.
Oh, I don't know.
He says, but if Lathander were not real, how could I do this? And he waves his hand over them, and there's a sparkle of divine energy as the dead, like about, an array, like a small field of dead flowers on the floor in front of you, begin to blossom and rebloom, and life returns to them. Is that
Now,
proof enough for you?
Can I tell like how much divine energy, or if it really did come from Lathander, like that would take?
That's just a very small thing.
I was like, hey, dude, that's a bitch ass spell.
He says, I have no interest in bitches or ass. He says,
Dude, is that really all you can do?
of course not.
Well, show me your strongest thing. Right now. And if it's good, I'll believe you. Strongest thing.
Strongest thing?
Yeah, show me your strongest thing.
Do you truly require this of me?
Yeah, totally do. I'll show you yours if you show me mine. As I just hear Albrecht, someone saying something.
He says, I have half a mind to just walk away. You speak as one
Yeah,
who
we
is
still
very
have
simple
half
of
a man
mind.
who's still here, right?
He says, but your provocation and your passion, there's something behind your words that makes me believe that you are not completely a fool.
Yeah. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
He says, and I believe that that inscription of a holy symbol on your chest there is indeed the symbol of Tempest, if even drawn a bit crudely, like a 5-year-old would.
I'd say at least a 7-year-old, you dumb piece of shit.
He says, think of a place far, far away that you would like to see. A beach perhaps you would like to walk, a land you would like to feel, a place you would like to feel the heat of the stones beneath your feet, or someone you would like to talk to.
Okay. Got it. Thinking of it right now.
Where is it? Tell me.
Oh, I don't have to tell you. Can't you do it without me telling you?
Oh, okay. He said, of course I can.
Okay, good. Do it.
Alright. So I don't know where it is.
Oh, shit.
Where is it?
Deimos is thinking straight in front of Tempest.
Okay.
Please tell me he sends Deimos back to West Vane and that old man is having sex again.
No, don't do it. Deimos can't take that much damage.
Okay. What I'm doing is I'm reading astral projection to see how that would work. Okay. Um. It says, "Very well. Let me show you
Okay.
the might of Lathander." He places his hand on your chest and pushes you. um, as he does, you can feel the pressure against your chest, but then all of a sudden it disappears, but it still feels like you're being shoved with incredible force. Like his hand is just barely on your chest, but it feels like a powerful weight, like very, extremely strong. It's pushing you out. Shut up, Gale. He pushes your astral form out of your body. And you go flying out. You're sitting there looking at your own body just standing there, um, and you're just floating in the air around the hexagons, and the world does shimmer with a slightly different color, and then he waves his hand and you begin to fly. You begin to move, to just pass through walls and up through the sky at a blindingly fast pace. You see yourself pass through different worlds and zones, just going through dimensions and planes unknown to you. And then you are you arrive and there's silence. And darkness. And then your eyes open and your ears open, and all around you there is war. Savage, brutal, endless war as far as your eyes can see, and it's creatures that tower over you, massive claws, fangs, wings, just scratching and charging and rushing all around you, blood, fire, and gore everywhere, obscuring the sky. The sky is golden and bright, but it's darkened by the presence of millions and millions of demonic creatures just surging everywhere, and muddled and spread throughout this host all around you as far as the eye can see. You're looking everywhere on this celestial plane that you're standing on. There are bright snippets of light as angelic beings are darting in between and out among these demonic creatures. You hear death everywhere, screams that seem to shatter your very form. You know that if you were there physically, there would be that you would be like any number of fatal blows coming your way to these massive beat creatures falling around you, and huge shocks of energy and power just surging through the air. Your physical form would have been incinerated within a few seconds, had you been standing here physical bodily. All around you, obscuring that is pretty much what you see at that moment. Fire and brimstone. A sword slashes out of the sky and comes down and splits a huge seven-headed demon in half before that fiery creature is consumed by this huge pustular globulous thing that just comes roaring above it. Up in the sky, you see and you hear the roar of this immense two-headed bestial fanged ape-like creature just screaming and ripping through the air. And then, as you look over in that direction, you see a spark of light, a shimmering bright light that feels familiar to you, but you can't really quite tell what it is, going up against this bestial creature. And then you feel yourself being pulled back down to earth, zipping through away from the fire and the chaos and the pain, soaring through the skies back down, hurtling down to earth at an immense speed. And you blink, and you're sitting back in your body. Your body is just like you're flat on your ass on the ground. You're breathing heavily, and Liam is crouched down next or kneeling down in front of you. He looks up at you and he says, "Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Did you see what you wished to see?"
Well, I mean, I'll give you this. Yeah, your god might have some power, but for putting me straight in front of his feet, I'm kind of off.
Says, "Well," he says, "I am an old man after all."
I slap him on the back and say it's okay. But that was pretty awesome. Thanks for the show.
He says, "A pleasure."
Can I have your staff?
"No,
Okay.
get the fuck out."
All right, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Okay. All right. By this time, enough time has passed, I believe. It is now past midday. You guys have been engaging yourself in all the activities of the spire and seeing what's been going on. Before a courier comes your way and tells you that Battlemaster Telifos has summoned you.
I go with the courier.
Oh yeah, I'll go.
I come along, but I do have like this big box that I'm trying to carry, like heave over, and I'm not very good, and I resort to pushing it.
What's in the box?
I spent my lunch break making brownie.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you're walking around pushing it. Okay. So you guys all head over a motley crew, walking through the streets of Mistrala, and you see there's a rhythm to the life of Mistrala here. It's all very different than anywhere else in the land. Magic is employed everywhere. Magic is used to bring up water from the depths from like underground rivers up, and it appears in every household. Magic is used to heat furnaces and cook food and all that stuff. Magic is just everywhere and vibrant in this city. You guys across a clearing, and then you go over a bridge that spans this glistening pink river, and you come to the other side, and there by like a little cafeteria or a cafe, an outdoor seating with like umbrellas and stuff all over the place. You see Telifos seated with some refreshments around him, just kind of like he's finished eating, and Ava is there as well as several other students, and you can tell that they've been having they just are coming to the conclusion of some kind of lesson or demonstration or something. Okay. So you present him with a package of brownies?
I present each person with some, and I offer Elwin an extra one for children as a gift. And I hope they came out well this time. Sometimes it has unusual effects, but here you go.
So Ava, so Telifos gestures to Ava, and Ava says, "He wants to know if these brownies will cause harmful side effects. He's heard that your baking tends to do though. Such." He says, "Sorry."
They've never done it to me, but I could try some, and if anything happens, I mean, that would help inform him. And I start munching on one.
All right. What did you put in them?
Just basic ingredients, but that intelligence check was to see if Renly actually could follow the recipe, or if she kinda bungled it up. But
Okay.
she did get a 20.
So they are delightfully sweet and moist.
Now, which recipe was she following?
Like Betty Crocker herself would be proud.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was Betty Ann Arbor Crocker.
Okay. So Telifos nods, and he takes the packet and he places it next to him, but he accepts and Ava says, "He is grateful. Thank you for the sweet treats." Now she says, "To business, shall we?" Um, what would you like to know from Master Telifos? He has the rest of the evening kind of blocked away, and he's cleared it up for you. He says, I think the mention of Akelia honestly made him interested in talking to you, but
I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. You made that one easy. You've seen Kindergarten Cop, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's where that reference comes from.
I don't remember it though. What was specifically?
I think when Arnold was in the kindergarten class, like the assignment for the kindergarten kids was, "Who is your daddy and what does he do?"
Oh, funny. So, what do you guys want to know?
Did you dump her, or did she dump you? This is her flaw, man. This is her flaw.
Telefos, he just sits there for a second. And he looks at Ava and he just like reluctantly gestures a little bit. And Ava says, "Well, the relationship was complex. They were, while they were indeed
You dumped him.
in the same class together, she kind of left him." She says,
Did you do something to hurt her?
it had to. She says it had to do with a competition. You see, Telefos was in all of the years here. Telefos was the only one who could ever even approach Akelia, to rival her in any kind of way, even though she was still managed to outpace him in most areas. She said there was one competition that's really there could be only one winner, and it had to be Akelia. So Telefos, he stepped down, but he did so in such a way that made it appear like she won fairly. And she found out about it, and it was an offense that she could not forgive. That he would dare to hand her a win, essentially.
Oh, I say, I get how it is. She kind of gets like that, and I walk over to Telefos to go hold my hand, give my handshake, and I say, it's kind of nice that you're thinking about her.
He regrets that it was not received as he had intended it.
You
Say,
sacrificed honor for love, and
we
it
might be
didn't
able
go
to talk to
well.
her. See, I'm kind of like her uncle, and see, she's kind of like her aunt. She likes these other guys.
He says,
Killjack was her boyfriend.
Oh, he's dead now.
Telefos says
Killjack is not dead.
he should have
So
known.
dead. I'm joking.
He should have known that that attempting anything less than his best in competition with Akelia was to disrespect her.
I say it's all right. Actually, as I'm walking up to him to shake his hand, I reach in my pocket and I say, "Oh man, shoot, there was something that she wanted me to give you." And I say, "Oh, here it is." When I get close to him, I'm gonna kick him real hard in the foot or leg or something.
He flinches, and you see him like breathe in, and then he catches himself, and you can see him scrunch up his face really tight and just like grimace really hard. Ava's super alarmed.
I say,
Right?
"Hey, dude."
I
She stands up.
cackle.
She stands up. She says,
I just
she
had
says-
to do it.
She says, "You don't understand, no." She says, Telefos looks at you, and he's like glaring at you. And she says,
She wanted you to give him that.
You
Well,
don't-
she can't hate you all that
told me-
much.
she told me to kick him.
"You don't understand. If he had not been able to control himself, if he had let loose even the smallest of screams or shouts," she looks around, she says, "many here would have perished."
Why didn't someone tell us that beforehand?
Well, it sounds like Akelia knew you could control yourself, though. So,
No, it's a terrible
you know,
idea.
she might have your measure.
Telifos kind of signs. He's settled down by now. He's like, you see him rubbing his leg like frantically, and he signs to Ava, and she says, "Yes," he says, "that's exactly what it must have been. Kelia always knew all the ins and outs. She got the better of him in every way."
She can't hate you that much. Maybe it's not too late.
You know, we can talk to her right now if you want. You want to say sorry? As
You
I
see him
pull up
gesture.
this-
You see him gesture. He says, "Oh, absolutely not. No, 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 no."
I write her actually on this piece of paper that we had to fuck with Kildrak.
Can so,
There's still
I'll
drawings of
go-
like penises and stuff all over,
Yeah,
right?
there's a bunch of penises. And then, like, you see me kind of scribble out the penises, and I write in the corner that says,
can I go to attempt to confiscate the peanut?
You're not Killjack. You don't care.
No,
Yeah.
no, just so we don't. No, it's not about that. It's about just trying to get back on topic of what's important here. Because I'm sure this
Demos.
is not what the most important thing is.
well, then fine.
We worked really hard
Okay,
on those penises.
so
I'm gonna
Albrecht,
keep drawing
Albrecht.
penises.
So you pull it out. Albrecht just kind of comes and grabs it out of your hand, Amos. Oh, Albrecht, what do you say?
I look him straight in the eye and I say, "Focus."
Yeah, give him a paperback. I'm not done drawing dicks on it.
I'll give it back after we're done here.
Fine.
I look at him again. Focus.
Damo sits down.
She says,
Now, if I was here last week, I would kind of take over the conversation here, but I actually don't know why we need to talk to him. So someone else has to do it.
We gotta get into the upper tower.
Again, I
and
look
that
at
Telifos
focus.
becomes serious, and she says, Ava says, "Oh, that is what you came for." She says, "I'm afraid that's entirely impossible."
They say Mistrada's dying.
She says, "There are lots of rumors. It's true that things have been odd around here. I'm sure you've all felt it, or at least seen it. The weave acts in strange ways lately. Especially here." She says, "But, this is..." And Telifos begins to gesture. And she says, "Oh." Telifos says that what you have asked about, the nature of the spire and what occurs up above, is privileged information that only a few know of. She says, "I don't even know about it myself." She says, "Telifos wants you to confirm to him that you are trustworthy before he were to tell you such."
Okay, what does he need us to do?
Yeah, how do we prove our trust?
He says, "Well, he already knows that you are acquainted with Akelia, and that is why we are having this conversation now." He says, "But Telifos needs to know more. He needs to know the heart of your intentions and your motives, to know whether they are pure or if there's any hint or glimmer of selfishness amongst you."
I'm gonna say, hey, Telifos, or can you translate this if he doesn't understand me? He must have known that Ospium was full of undead, right? It was surrounded by undead.
Yes,
They
of
couldn't
course.
get any help in or out. We are the ones that brought down the Lich. What was his name? Eshek?
Ejek, the Ashen King.
And if that doesn't prove that we are not selfish or have ulterior
Selfless.
motives, I don't know what else we can do.
She says, well, you see, we don't doubt the truth of your deeds," she says, "but any reason could be given for why you might do something like that." She says, "Telifos is the master of tone. Music is his lifeblood. He can tell the heart of someone by hearing their song. He asks that one of you sing for him or perform for him. He will know whether or not you are trustworthy.
As he says that, all 5 sets of eyes turn towards Euphemia. I'm just going to say this because that's what happens.
Yeah. Let's go get him, Miss Selfless. And I wink and give her a thumbs up.
Actually, I think it should be Deimos.
Deimos isn't selfless, he's just stupid.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think Deimos can carry a tune.
I mean,
I don't
Deimos
think it
will
has anything
try.
to do with. It doesn't have anything to do with carrying a tune.
One of you, or all of you, she says. You do not need to be a musician, she says, but he must know. He will be able to see to your heart and hear your intentions through your song.
Hey guys, I mean, if we all sing, there's a chance one of us
I'll
are gonna
put a-
pass.
So I'm gonna make someone actually sing something.
Second.
You have to roleplay this shit if you want it.
Give me 1 second here. Wait, so who actually is singing?
I don't know. You guys figure it out.
Because if
Let
not,
the dice gods decide.
I mean, if no one is volunteering,
I'm just
there
this is
6
terrible.
of us.
Yeah, I'm looking up Bible songs, and I was just gonna replace God with Tempest in them.
All right.
I think you got a difference of syllables up there, so that might be a little
Oh,
bit
definitely,
hard.
it's gonna be terrible. That's why I'm just like,
You guys gonna roll for it or what?
Yeah, well, make the GM.
It's the
roll
fairest
D6.
way.
Are you volunteering, Deimos?
oh no, I think I mean, okay, we gotta have like the most pure-ish person do it, right?
No, you do realize Midas is saying he's going to make one of us actually sing over the mic.
All right. Here, I pulled up one. I pulled up a very easy one.
Okay, I guess it's Deimos.
This is gonna be terrible.
Go
This
for
is a
it.
very short and terrible one.
Go for
This
it.
is on. I pull out a sheet of paper of a song that Tempest wrote. Also looks like it was written in crayons and by a 3-year-old. It is called Tempest. Oh, so it's 1, 2, 3. Tempest loves me. All right. He's gonna ask for a sick ass beat from everyone else from the round. Everyone else.
Okay. All right. Who's doing the beatboxing or at least the drumming?
Albrecht can drum on like an empty helmet or something.
Okay. So you remove your helmet and Albrecht just starts beating a steady dwarven beats for you, right, Deimos?
This is gonna be the worst song ever. We got a dwarf doing the music, and we got a ridiculous, stupid tennis player guy. Okay. All right.
I actually know this song.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, in real life.
Oh,
But go on,
no.
go on, go on.
1, 2, 3. A Tempest loves me. 1, 2. Tempest loves you. 1, 2, 3. He loves you more than you've ever been loved before. 5, 6, 7. On my way to heaven. 8, 9. Soon to be mine. 8, 9, 10. It's time to win. Now let's all sing it again. 1, 2, 3. Tempest loves me. 1, 2. Tempest loves you.
Okay,
1, 2.
Telifos
Okay.
begins to wave his hand.
Whew.
I mean, I kind of turn my head towards him, and I look at it, and I'm like, the song may have not been the best, but the voice actually wasn't half bad. And I look at him in surprise.
It's the microphone.
Ava smiles. She says, "Very well," she says. Telifos has said that at the heart of who you are and beneath your crude exterior that you are at least sincere in what you are doing. Um, you may be misguided, she says, or at least foolish, but he says that he thinks that you are at least trustworthy enough to take what you are about to hear and be responsible with it. Telifos looks at the tower, at the spire above, and he begins to gesture. Hold on one second, where are my notes? Okay. She says, what you are about to hear, she looks around, and, you know, at this time in the afternoon, around you is fairly clear. She says, I'm sorry, one second. And she pulls out her violin, and she plays a few notes, and she focuses a little bit. And as you can see around you, a shimmer of energy begins to like form around you, just sparkles, just like little brief glitter points in an area around you all. As she casts a modified silence spell around you. It's basically a small, thin barrier of silence around you, so that no sound can escape from where you are to the outside. It's a very focused form of silence, like pinpoint casting of that. It's quite impressive, actually. And then she says, "No, not many here know this, but Telifos is about to explain to you and to me, honestly, what is going on here. You see, a number of years ago, this battle that you have all been crusading for on behalf of, the GodBreaking, threw much into torment and into disarray. Here in Mistrala, we were greatly immune from the war. There are powerful magic wards and deep incantations and enchantments, not just here in the city, but in the lands around it. Deep ancient magics that protect us and keep us safe. We were not afraid of demons or of dark forces coming here, honestly. Perhaps we should have been, but such was the pride and grandeur of the headmaster. But things turned sour. 2 years ago, we only know of this because Liam the Holy has explained it to us. But there was a sharp shift in the weave. We know that the goddess Mistra was wounded mortally. So great was her plight as her lifeblood began to spill and her life force began to fade, that she fled the heavens, snuck away from the battle and the chaos up above, and hid herself down here on the material plane. And of all places, it makes sense, does it not, that she would come to Mistrala. She came to the headmaster, seeking asylum, seeking safety. She sealed herself into a giant crystal and froze herself in stasis up there, and she points to the top of the spire. Up there, the goddess herself. Headmaster Aaron, at that time, knew that the most powerful and most dangerous of foes would come seeking her to destroy her completely. So, he did what he thought best at that time, took his most powerful mages up with him, sealed off the spire, and gave orders that the borders of Mistrala itself be barred from the passage of anyone except the most worthy. He tried to get Telifos to join him, but Telifos refused. Because, you see, my master knew that the chaos in this world would only grow, and that one of the most effective ways of keeping Mistra safe from the forces and the chaos and the darkness here would be to combat it around the world. So for the past 2 years, Telifos and I, and several other Magni, have been traveling this land, going from location to location, destroying evil, throwing creatures back into the abyss, slaying demons, and trying to reverse the wave of chaos that is consuming this world. She says, and she looks around, and she says, I have not been back to the city for 2 years, ever since Telifos and I left on our first journey. She says, and Telifos continues. His face grows very dark and grim and serious as he leans in towards you all, and he continues with the gestures, communicating through Ava. She says, Telifos has not either. We have been on the road journeying for 2 full years, but one person, one demon that we encountered in Oscaria, not a demon, an aberration, is this red scaled creature hissing and leaping through the air. She says there were many of them, but as we slew them, one talked, one spoke. Telifos ripped the truth from his mind. She said that it was all a distraction, that the true danger was here at the spire. So Telifos and I made haste, all haste, to return here and protect Mistra. We have just arrived, and all day long we have been trying to seek out what has been going on. But we have caught no sign, heard no whisper, and it is concerning us. We believe that an attack is imminent, and we're surprised that it has not already happened. Do you know any of this?
I'll explain that we think it's Clovis and give him the history on our history with him.
She says, Clovis? Telifos nods and gestures some more. She says, we know this name. We've encountered word of him, and I believe that in one nation about 6 months ago, we came very close to confronting him personally. But he was sly and he evaded us. She looks around. She says, but that does not make sense. She says, we were looking for something greater, something larger. We were looking for the Tarask, honestly. Because it would take a force of that power to breach the defenses of the spire. She says, nothing. Clovis would not be able to infiltrate the defenses and the barrier that Headmaster Aaron has set up.
I then mentioned the
Sure
word
about that?
Tarask.
She says, Telifos nods his head. She says, he's positive. He knows the strength. He helped erect the barrier.
I then mention Inkamel and the other lieutenant and mention what he is, that he's aware Tarask.
Yeah, she says, they know about him. They were,
Okay.
yeah. She says, we are aware of at least the nature of this beast. Like I said, we were expecting him to be here, but he is not.
But you said that.
Where was he off to after he destroyed?
Yeah, Feldorn. Feldorn, you would have made it here.
Feldorn basically tells him, well, we do know that one of the demons, whatever the midget's name was,
Clovis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Clovis.
or I hypothesize that one of the demons that we know is actually a nightmare and doesn't have any true form in this world and can take whatever form it so chooses.
She says, that would be true. Yes. But there is no entry into the spire. He could show up in the under the guise of the headmaster himself, and he would not be granted entry.
Well, what happens if someone let him past already?
You look around and say, "The barrier was intact. We were there this morning. Nothing has passed through it. There's no evidence of
Yeah.
tampering."
Now, this is just Damos thinking right now. Damos isn't the smartest. Clovis can take, he said this, anything, right? You usually go in and out of stuff.
Well, you haven't seen that.
Okay. Does anyone think Clovis could possibly be a ranger named Robin Hood?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. But what I did think of is it could be an inside job. Remember in Ospium, the Lich got the prince to go on his side until we stopped that shit.
Oh, that's true.
So there could be somebody working for the bad side already upstairs.
That's true.
And that's definitely up Clovis's alley to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Also with that radiation
but-
that's going off.
Ava said,
Okay, so if he has no true form and can take any form he wants, does that mean he could technically take the form of a Tarask as well?
"You guys are just you're not quite sure. You're just guessing right now about what Clovis's
Speculating.
true abilities are. You're speculating, yeah."
Okay.
I think we should visit the continent. I mean, at least he'll have some tea. He always knows something or what to do.
Telifos looks
I
at
don't
you
know.
and he nods. He says, Ava says, "He says that might be a great idea. It had not occurred to him earlier. The former headmaster might have insight."
And he,
Is that the guy with Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
what's Alzheimer's?
She says, do you think we should go now? Telifos is willing to.
There he is. Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
He'll know we're on a.
She stands up and Telifos nods to her, and she plays another haunting tune on her violin, and basically casts a teleport spell. As you guys all are lifted into the air, carried by the sound of the music, wafting through the currents of the air and the winds, and carried across town to Sir Kotinin's small cottage.
My child, you play beautiful music.
"Why, thank you," she says. "It's always been a passion of mine." She says, and in fact, Euphemia here was quite the inspiration to me when I was younger.
You should play music again. Maybe do a session or two.
She smiles. She says, "It would be nice, a good respite from the road." As you guys hear from inside, "I hear someone out there. Who's there? Go.
You know who it is, don't you?
Of course I do. Of course I do. Come inside, Renly. Come inside, Renly, Telifos, and the rest of you all. Come inside. Here, let me get you some tea." Says, "What are you here for?"
Well, we had some concerns.
Yes, yes, of course, I know this. What are your concerns?
If you already know this, why are
Emotion.
you even asking?
What? Because I want to be sure if you know. Besides, I kind of forgot. But who are you?
Your daddy.
Impossible. You're much too dark of skin. He says, "Telifos, what is the cause of all this?" Ava steps up and she says, "They come requesting information about the tower," she says, "the spire. We gained information out and abroad that an attack was commencing this way, and that the headmaster and the spire itself was in danger." Of course, didn't everybody know this? You all, isn't
There's a
this
fellow named Clovis, and a Weredrask, and a guy named Robin, and then we have so much more problems occurring.
Robin? He's the chap who was here yesterday, wasn't he? Where is he?
Was he with us when we were here? I don't think so, right?
He was.
I don't think so.
He traveled to the city with you. You guys look around and you realize he's not with you.
No, I mean when we talked to this guy.
No, he was not.
Oh, bastard.
He says, "Well, I'm afraid you all are much too late.
What?
It's
What do
already
you mean?
happened. You don't know? What is wrong with you all? It's been done. The barrier's been breached. I thought that's what you were here for." Telifos stands up in alarm and he looks everywhere. He looks at each one of you. Ava stands up as well too.
Feldorn gives the old man the stank eye, like, why the fuck didn't you say that when we first walked in? You.
It happened last night.
What do you mean, Gordon?
I don't know what
But you
happened.
took it last night.
All I know is that the barrier was breached. Something crossed.
How do you know this?
He says, I just saw it in my tea.
And
I thought you checked the barrier this morning.
Telifos nods. He says, and Ava says, "Absolutely, the barrier was uncompromised this morning. Kutinin, you must be wrong." He says, "I know what I saw. I saw something cross the barrier, and then a few minutes later, cross back."
Can I insight check him?
Sure.
What type of conversation did you have with this Robin fellow?
Who are you asking?
The dude?
None of them have talked to Robin.
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, none of them. He was traveling with you guys yesterday. He had his own dorm room and stuff with you last night and everything. He's been traveling with you the last couple weeks.
Oh, I thought you said that he had come to see this guy yesterday.
He was with you when you guys talked to him.
Oh,
Robin?
Okay. I misunderstood you.
Telifos is pacing back and forth and gesturing. Euphemia, you believe the old man. I mean, maybe he's senile or something like that, but right now he currently believes what he's saying. Telifos is pacing back and forth across the room now, visibly agitated. Ava says, "That's impossible." She says, "There was no forced entry. There was no change in any of the glyphs or the runes. The barrier was completely sealed all the way around, 360 degrees around the spire." She says, "Nothing has passed."
How about under of it?
She says, "Everything is intact. The barrier has not been broken. In order to, someone must have been able to breach it. They would have been able to cross through it, leaving no mark at all."
I look at her and I'm like, this has to be Robin. He can obviously get into a pocket dimension where he's not welcome.
What? That's not even possible.
Well, you can enter my mansion without my permission.
What?
What?
Yeah, and we kept him around.
They look back and forth at each
You
other.
kept a home invasion intruder in.
Teleforce
What?
stands up.
He was kind of funny.
He at this point, Telefos stands up, or he's standing there. And he in the middle of the room. He raises his staff, and he slams it down on the ground, right? And you see him open his mouth with the smallest of whispers, just the very very faintest of words, and like the whole room begins to vibrate.
Are his
I
teeth
duck
all
under the
jacked up?
table.
What?
Are his teeth all jacked up?
He's got one gold tooth. And the room begins to vibrate, and you feel the wind ripping through the area, and you guys are all physically lifted off as the roof of the cottage basically just gets blown off in the wind. You guys are all lifted out of there, and like it's bringing a bunch of things with it, like the tables and like teapots and stuff like that. Gotinin is like gasping and flailing in the air, and you're all just lifted in the air and just swept away in the wind towards the spire itself. as he just rushes you all over there fast, very very quickly, faster than the flight speed and everything like that. You rush over to the spire itself, and you guys burst into the courtyard. And
Feldorn stares like right at Deimos and is like, I wanted to kill that guy and you fucking didn't let me. The fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
so you guys burst into the courtyard. You just like come flying in through this area, and he flies you vertically up, multiple stories higher until you hit the barrier. This white glistening barrier covered in runes and embedded with golden energy. And the gale force winds are just holding you there in the air, up high in the center of this courtyard here. And he's looking at the barrier. And Telifos reaches out and places a hand against it, right? And it's solid. And he looks back at you and he makes a gesture. And Ava says, "Are you saying that this character that you know would have been able to cross this barrier and leave it unmarred?"
Well, I
Pretty
don't know
much.
anything about your barrier, so we're just telling you that you can go into dimensional homes by himself
She says,
without permission.
"Well," Telifos has a worried look on his face. Kotinin has an oblivious look on his face. And at that point, coming out from right here on the map, you see a groggy Robin, yawning, stretching his arms, and just like popping out. Like, "Oh, there you all are," he says. He rubs his eyes. "I've been looking all over for you. Couldn't find you. I went back, took a nap, was quite tired. Oh, who's the beauty?"
That's
Oh.
the guy.
I look at Telethos and I'm like, can you rip knowledge from his mind?
He's way ahead of you. You all go surging over to him, and with a gesture of his hand and a whisper, Robin is picked up bodily from the balcony. His body just racked and straight and rigid. And Telefos brings him up to eye level, and he's just glaring at him in the face. Robin is his body is completely taut, like every muscle in his body is flexed, and he's like just like shaking in the air. And Telefos looks at him, and Ava goes over and says, "What did you do?" Robin says, "Just a simple task." He says, I was paid to make a delivery and I made the delivery." "What did you do?" He says, "I was contracted for gold to come and deliver a small item to across this barrier, across this wall." "And what was it?" He says, "It's a stupid little thing, a piece of broken glass."
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
the demon glass.
Take
I'm gonna
take
show
us to
him,
the glass.
I'm gonna show him our shard of mirror.
You don't
can
have
look
any
like
more.
this?
Modrin destroyed
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, you gave it to Modrin. Modrin destroyed yours.
We tell him it's demon glass.
He says, "What?
It allow
What?"
the dwarf gnome guy see into the barrier and cast spells in there.
He says, "But I don't know anything about that. All I know is that the gold was good and I needed it because there were some families that were in dire need."
Okay, now you need to get us across that barrier, like
This is-
right now.
It's simple. It's like he reaches. He says, "If I could just move for a second," and at that point, the tower begins to shake and shudder.
Hold on a second. As he says, I want to insight check him
Okay.
real quick, just quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty good at this.
All right. What are you checking?
No, I know he's not the most. He's the Robin Hood, so take from the rich, give to the poor. But is he like genuine about just a guy gave him gold and he needed gold for a family?
Well,
Like, does he have an ulterior motive? Can I tell?
his body is completely racked and with pain, and in that you sense that he might be exaggerating a little bit.
But no more than normal Robin?
Well, he likes to spend a little bit of money for himself sometimes.
Oh, okay, yeah, but he truly had no idea that it was demon glass. Essentially, is what
As best as you can tell, yeah.
okay, that's fine.
Anything else from you guys?
Um,
Feldor wants to annihilate him.
I want to as well, but we need to get across this barrier first, so it's actually useful.
I
We're
got,
too
Can I,
late.
while he's being whole, can I go through his pockets and find the item that he uses to go through dimensional doors? Or
Yeah.
pockets?
You can
'Cause
try.
I've seen he always reaches into his pocket.
You can try to search him.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him to keep him held, and I'm gonna go through that pocket
As you
and
reach
find that
over,
magic item.
as you reach over there and you start searching him, go ahead and roll me a investigate check.
if she
That's
gets
it?
a 1, she grabs his junk.
What? Investigate, yeah. Robin,
Yeah, I was,
as you're coming over to me, Euphemia, Robin kind of looks over at you and he says, "Be gentle." He says, "It's my first time."
Oh my god!
I'm just gonna punch him in the dick. You know, this is the first.
Time
make
is
sure it doesn't
wasting!
You hear him groan, but he can't move his body because Telifos has him held. You're searching through it, and Euphemia, you find. You don't really find anything on his person, but underneath his cloak, under his shirt, with a full, thorough investigation, you find an opening in one of his like a pouch or a pocket in his shirt. As you reach into it, you realize that all it does is allow him to go in and touch his side, like his physical side, and there in on his side, you feel something hard, and the texture is very different. It's like embedded in his skin.
I'm gonna rip open his shirt.
Okay, in his side, you see kind of like sutured into his body itself is a small, what size? Like the size of a plum, maybe a plum, rock, grayish in color, marbled with like slightly lighter ore, basically. But it's a small rock that's just like embedded in his side.
Do I
Oh,
know what it
I'm
is?
very good with rocks. And like channeling magic items as a gnome. Can I look?
Give me an Arcana check. The DC will be fairly high.
My thingy that I have a history, magical items, alchemy objects, would that apply?
Sure. Oh, okay. Renly, you recognize this as a rune stone.
Oh god. Mean. What does that mean?
Rune stones.
I know what this means as a player because Killjack played it, but does Alberic know?
As a player, you can explain it to them.
Okay, so rune stones it's a class essentially. Killjack was a rune scribe, and basically what you do is you find your first rune stone, then you find a master, they teach you, and then as long as your master keeps knowing other runes, you learn runes from that. But each rune stone grants it different powers, so depending on his level of rune scribe and whether he is attuned to this or not, he has certain powers. Now, again, Killjack can recognize the different runes, and so my.
Oh, okay,
me
so
as
it's
a player-
basically just like a rune magic imbued into an actual stone.
Yeah, it's magic, but it's more ancient than traditional arcane magic like a wizard uses. So
Gale,
it's
thank you.
like it's part artifact, I would call it, but not quite an artifact yet.
Gale, think the runes from Storm King's Thunder.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, I got it.
Yeah. So you know this. You recognize a rune stone. This one is not one that you recognize, and they're very rare, obviously. But this is one that's kind of a mystery to you as to its exact nature. And Robin says, "Oh, be careful." She says, "That's tender." He says, "It's been there for a long time. I'm not quite sure where it came from, but it's got its perks."
We need to hurry.
Yeah, and at this point, the tower begins to shake, and you begin to hear screams and all kinds of chaos coming from outside.
I kind of, you know, tell the wizard, I forget his name, that as we can deal with him later, but as of now, he's the only one who can get us across the barrier, so we kind of need him to set free.
And the seer says, Kutinin, who's been in kind of like an abstract kind of like lethargy, his eyes pop open. He says, "Holy fucking shite! Do you feel that?" Oh my! And as he says that, you guys all realize what's just happened. Like the weave itself is like almost visually invading the world around you. You can feel it more than you can see it. But textures of it's almost like the Matrix is breaking through in small areas. You know what I mean? As parts of the tower begin to like crackle and shimmer and stuff like that. He says, "Look at that!" And all sorts of weird things happen. Like bursts of energy begin to flow from all over the place. Sparks of flame outside. There's all sorts of like weird visual and powerful emanations coming from around. You hear these huge lumbering sounds from outside and screams, and you look down and you see these small little sparks of electricity begin to zip back and forth, and you see some students on the ground being chased by these little things of electricity, and they start swarming over them. A couple of female students are rushing in one direction, and three of these little electrical sparks. You guys are fairly high off the ground, so you can't tell what they are. Leap onto them and drive them to the ground, and and the girls are screaming as electricity begins to start coursing through their bodies.
Well, Feldorn says, "Look, we don't have enough time. Let's go. Now. Chop chop. DD Mao."
Telifos looks back and forth at you guys and says, and Ava says, like, "This is bad. This is very bad." She says, she looks around, she says, "The weave is unraveling." She says, "The city's defenses have been activated. Telifos can sense it." She says, "You don't understand. This is very, very bad. They will destroy everything that they come across if they are not properly directed."
Well, can he do that while we go through the barrier and take care of whatever's inside?
You guys can decide what you want to do.
Like, can Telifos handle the defenses so that they don't kill everybody, and then we'll handle whatever's in through the barrier?
Yeah, they don't kill everybody and they don't kill us. That might be good.
She says, "We can try. We certainly are able to try."
Unless anybody has a better plan, we gotta move now.
Yeah, I kind of look at her and I say in a gruff, hoarse voice, "Well, lady, let's get up there and fix the problem then."
Okay, roll me, Elwyn, since this was your idea. Roll me a persuasion check.
It's something I'm good at. Lucky. A little better.
Yeah, 20's pretty good.
That's pretty good. It's not great. Okay. So here's a conflict. Telifos doesn't think you should be the ones to go up into the tower. Ava says this. She says, Telifos suggests that we do things the other way. Of anyone, he is more qualified to head up into the tower, to correct whatever's wrong, and confront the headmaster if necessary.
Feldorn
Except
stares.
we don't know how to run the defense system, so...
She says, if they're awakened, they must be destroyed, or at least replaced back into slumber.
And you know how to do that. We don't. We fought demons before. We can fight them now. Let us into this damn room. I want to protect the weave as much as you, because I rely on it just as much as you do.
What about the old headmaster?
What? What?
Can you make
Settle
these
this
things
discussion.
not kill things?
He says, they're fairly simple and elemental in their nature. I was there when some of them were initially erected, but they are powerful, very powerful. I don't know if I'd be able to overcome them first.
How
Uh,
about this on your divination? If he enters tower, will he succeed?
He says, if only the fates were able to tell us such things. He says, I would be a very wealthy man, I tell you that.
Sheriff didn't know that shit. Oh my god.
Alright, let's make a decision.
Okay, so what's
Well,
So
there-
let me just give you an example of what's happening. So down below, you see a bunch of small electric beings begin to swarm over students. You hear their screams. Outside, you see shocks of flame and everything like that. And in the far distance, you hear huge, massive rumblings. Kotinin looks out and says, "Oh dear, they've awakened the Earthbinds. The elemental foci have come into being." He says, "The three mountains will be arriving shortly. This is not good."
Okay, how many of the demon generals have you killed? Because we've done 2.
No, we just did one.
2.
No.
One.
One.
That was 2.
No,
What's
we've
the
only
other
killed
one?
one of the 4 horsemen. We've killed greater demons, but just one of the 4 horsemen.
Ejek, you killed Ejek. You ran away from Inkamel.
Yeah, running away I don't think counts as a kill.
We
You know,
pissed
we
them
could
off.
we
did
could
that.
split
Pissed
the
them off
party
really
because we
good.
do have. I'm just thinking we do have a very we have a new member,
No.
a gnome
Shut
that's
your mouth.
very good
We're
with
not splitting the party. No. No.
just good with elementals.
No.
Gotnen,
Oh, yes, dear.
is there a way to reverse the alarm, like in case some idiot triggers it by accident? I mean, we are in an academy, for God's sake.
He says, well, I suppose so. He says, but
I mean, you know how many idiots pull the do not touch button?
he says, there's a difference between fire repression and large-scale defenses against an army attack. He says, that
But
is
what
the level.
triggered it? Like,
He says, that I do not know. He says, but can't you feel it? The weave is breaking. The weave is in chaos around us.
That's why we gotta go now.
Felderin speaks up. I'm like, look.
The controls for these defenses are in the spire.
All right, look. If we stop these idiots from continuing to break the weave, more than likely these defenses will calm the fuck down. We gotta go ASAP. Drop the idiot and get us into the laser defenses, please.
He says, if that's what you choose, he says, it's your decision. Telifos is alright. Someone else roll a persuasion check. Or I guess it has to be Feldorn, he is the one who's been speaking. Telifos stands in front of you again and says, and Ava, at this time he raises his staff a little bit and he's holding, he pulls Robin in tighter to him. Ava says, as much as there is danger out here, she says, confronting the headmaster is no small task. And to be able to work the magical controls, if he has awakened these defenses, someone will have to either reason with him or press him aside and deactivate these defenses. To do so would take a lot of time. She says, They will kill many.
Sounds like we should both go in there.
And Telifos is not convinced that you would be more capable than he at stopping the headmaster.
Yeah, if I didn't have exhaustion, he would have been.
Well, okay, how about there's what? 6 plus, how about all 10 of us go up there and leave the students to defend for themselves? I mean, they are magic users, so.
Is that what you guys want to do?
And the professors are down there, so they'll have some defense. But if the controls for the defenses are in the tower, I think all 10 of us should go up to the tower.
Conan, could you work with Listriel to perhaps work with the elementals to subdue some of these things? Or buy us some time?
Who? What? Where?
Listriel! The head of the guards!
Yes, the one with the bosoms, yes.
Yeah.
Feldorn gives him the stank eye. He says, I've been looking for some magical zombies.
Yes, of course, I can inquire with her about stopping the defenses, but no, the mountains are coming. This will be a slaughter.
When you say mountains, you mean...
I mean mountains.
Oh god.
Earth elementals the size of mountains.
Are we still talking about the bosoms?
Comes in and smiles. Says, "Oh, good one.
Feldorn says,
High five."
Elwin, let me borrow your hand for a minute.
High five.
Zelwyn
Okay,
goes to high
Anyways,
five.
9 or 10 of us go up. Let's just go up. We are wasting time now.
Okay, that's what you guys want to do.
Does any member of the party have a problem with going up to the top of the tower?
I
No,
do.
let's go.
I do. I don't want to go back up there.
Well, you're the only one who can get us, and
Actually,
meant a PC, not an NPC.
You know what Feldorn does? Feldorn walks over to the dude that's still being held and pours sovereign glue on his lips and shuts it. Like, there, I don't have to ever listen to your ass ever the fuck again.
Let's just hope you didn't need those words to get us across.
What if he needs to talk?
Ava says,
Well,
or Kotinin says, "There's a particularly brutal method of execution. You intend to starve him to death, I see.
Oh my god.
Very well.
Right.
You poor dead chap.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's some ointment or something around here that can get rid of this.
Robin is
when we're
freaking
done.
out. He's like out of his mind right now, trying to open his mouth. He can't do it.
Not if everything's destroyed and there it won't.
Okay, then let's
So
get
we'll
in the
find a way.
fucking
We're
tower.
gonna fix you, but we gotta get the stone first.
Okay. All right. Telifos tightens his grip on his staff and flexes it a little bit. Robin's freaking out, but all of a sudden his body restarts. It's rigid. His whole body like tightened up, like every muscle flexing. And Robin just nods his head. And Telifos raises him up, and you guys are all still floating on a cushion of air right now. Robin,
Before we actually go, can I just wind speak and try to call the boulder and just tell him, like, coordinate an evacuation, get people out, get elementals out, get everything out.
Sure.
And
You communicate that with Boulder via windspeak or via telepathy, whatever. But he gets the message. Robin places his hand on his side, touching the rune stone. And you can tell it's as he does it, you can tell he's not a magic user by any means. For some reason, this thing has been embedded in his body for so long that it's like it's a part of him. He knows. He's attuned to it in ways that you can't even begin to understand. He just reaches up to the barrier, touches it, and pulls open. It just warps and like these massively thick rocks and these incredibly powerful arcane wards just slip aside for him as he puts his hand on it and opens up a small portal, a small hole in it. Telifos is, his eyes are laser focused. He just shakes his head in disbelief.
And with that, Feldorn has to go to bed.
Okay. Have a good night, Kevin.
Good night.
See you, see.
Actually, wait. Before I go to bed, since I'm probably not going to be part of whatever they're fighting inside, can I just be like, hey, I'll go down and start helping people?
Okay. Yeah, sure. As you rush down and you head outside, well, it'll be going on into next week as well. So let's say you go with them because your character will want to be up there fighting.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Good night, guys.
Take care.
See you, dude.
I know.
All right. So as you do that, Telefos lowers Kotinin back down to the ground, and I believe everyone else is going. Are you taking Robin with you?
Disconnected from your channel.
Yeah, just in
Yeah.
case
Yeah, we gotta watch him, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'm gonna be looking for the solution that undoes his mouth while we're up there.
So Robin, Telefos lifts you all through the portal, and it shuts behind you. You find yourself in a platform that's almost in a circle made of glass. Almost, you can see out from the tower, miles around you, almost much further than you would normally be able to see. Ava stands there and looks at Telefos. Telefos gestures, and she says, "This is the observation level. Magical enchantments cast on every wall so that the seers here could gaze for miles and miles, leagues and leagues away. It's quite incredible, actually." So you're like almost standing on in mid-air, high above the ground, and you can see for miles around you, crystal clear. She gasps a little bit as Telefos points out, and Seer Kotinin was not exaggerating. 3 mountains on that were on the border of the foot of Mistrala have begun to move and have begun to make their way towards the spire itself, imposingly, massively, shuddering and shaking, breaking the ground. She says, "The elemental loci have been activated," as they start lumbering their way towards the city itself. Okay,
That would have been fun to fight.
they're still out there. As you continue your way up, Ava says, "This is," or Telefos begins to you're walking now. You guys are walking now. This layer is, like I said, surrounded by. It's like you're looking out, surrounded by glass. Over on the far end, there's a set of stairs. Telefos gestures in that direction. He says, "Upward. I suppose we must go. Come now." She says, "Although the defenses of the tower extended throughout the entirety, I imagine that they are probably active in here as well, and there are the other 2 Magni who are in here. Who knows what has become of them?" Okay.
First things first. Where are the controls for the defenses?
Well, they can be activated in many ways, but the ones to deactivate them and return them are near the top and on the headmaster's level.
All right, let's go.
Okay. All right. So you guys are inside the Silver Spire now, making your way up. So you're like right around here, and you're starting to walk your way up to the top of the spire. Let's see here. A second. As you can see, as you start on your way, both everyone just looking warily, walking up the staircase. It's long and it's winding, but it's taking you up faster than you think is possible. As you take one step, and it seems like you travel five. For every step that you physically take, it seems like you're traveling five. It's like the staircase itself is moving along along with you. Um, you guys travel upwards, and then all of a sudden, the whole thing comes to a shuddering stop. And Telifos looks up, and you see the sky above you um, begin to ripple and crackle with black um, and red flame just begin to roil and burn and churn in the sky above you. And you hear a voice crack through the the blackness and the darkness. Hello, Telifos. Brought company, I see. Telifos waves his hand, like just kind of gesturing for you all to stay still. And he casts a spell, and he flicks, and he begins to float upwards towards the flame and the black. Um, and resounding in the air around you, you hear the voice continue. Yes, I am different. I've become a bit more than the last time. Yes. Yeah, I know. Oh, you defeated me so soundly in our last duel, didn't you? I'm looking so forward to tearing you apart with all my new power. Come, dear. Let's have that embrace that we never had but always wanted. And as you see, formulating out of the flames in the sky above you, Telefos looks back and just kind of gestures you on as he cracks his staff, and he surges off towards this cloud of fire. And you see the cloud begin to coalesce, and at the center of it is this singular floating individual up in the flame, black and red flame surrounding her. Um, she her eyes blaze up, and the flames around her coalesce in a singular ball of fire, and she surges forward with it. Telefos raises his staff, and the two collide in the air in a shock wave of fire and thunder. Ava says, "Come now, we must go on. Telefos said that we should continue our journey while he handles Flera."
Who is Flera?
Okay.
Flera is one of the other battle magi. There are
Okay, I
three.
didn't know if she was like the headmaster or a demon. I don't remember.
There are three of them. Um, the headmaster kept two with him up in the tower, and he asked Telefos to join him, but Telefos said no. Flera is the Magni of shadow and flame.
Okay, so we're gonna
Of
have to
darkness and fire. Sorry.
face. We're gonna have to face Clovis, the headmaster, and a magi. Great.
All right, let's go.
Clovis might not actually be here since I don't think he can move through the glass. He can just cast spells through it.
I'm hoping.
I'm gonna use a sorcery point to give myself fire resistance.
You guys continue onward, and as you make it to the next level, this one is almost like you walk in, you pass a barrier with the flames and the shadow and the thunder behind you as you walk behind. Again, traveling up this staircase that brings you up 5 steps for every one that you take. You hear the crashing and the explosions behind you. It's almost as you pass through a barrier, and all of a sudden the environment changes. It becomes much more humid and dark. You look around and you swear you see trees, massive branches, and these odd shaped like plant life all around you. And Ava says, "Ah, yes, this is the botanical level. Oh, all these plants have been unattended for years now. Oh, they've grown wild, and their shape has changed."
I kind of eye her sideways, and any plants of the carnivorous variety that we may have to worry about.
She says, "There are plants of all variety." She says, I fear for Flera. I knew her, or at least I studied under her for a while. She was certainly not herself back there. Something odd has happened in this zone. Okay,
Yeah, let's keep going.
you guys continue on.
However, I do draw my sword and I ignite it at this point.
Okay.
Plant and fire don't mix.
Okay, I need
Carnivorous.
perception checks from everybody.
Can you remove the death ward and the intelligence thing for me? That would have been.
Yeah. Also, I don't have my the hasted thing anymore.
Okay, let's get rid of those first. Okay.
Beam me a C, squat diddly crap.
Deimos, as you're walking along through the brushwork and the greenery, it's thick, it's dense, it's like in a sweltering rainforest around you. You hear crashing of and the sounds of creatures all around you. Some's large, some small. You're not quite sure what's going on, but in front of you, you do catch a glimpse of a small object glistening on the ground in front of you.
Does it look like that glass stuff?
It does look glass-like,
Ah, shit.
but
Guys, I think-
not like the demon shard though. But it looks like crystal-like, crystal-like. Then you see, as you look, you see that it's covered in dirt, and that there's more of it underneath.
I pointed out to everybody.
The
Do we recognize it or
from what you see, let's see, Renly specifically, roll me a nature check.
I keep rolling fives.
You can't really tell what it is, but it does not. It seems to be as it begins to move, because it does begin to move. It begins to shudder and shift in such a way that seems like it's alive, in some way.
Okay.
The whole ground actually begins to shift underneath you, Deimos, or in front of you, and this thing begins to rear up. And as it does, you see that the shiny crystal that you saw on the ground is just one of many. As the dirt begins to part ways, this thing rears its head up in front of you, and as it ends up being about 8 or 9 feet tall by the time it's come up in front completely.
It's a weird snail crystal thingy.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Let's kill it.
Okay. So this thing is coming from front of you. All right. As it rises up in front of me, let me just prep this map here 1 second.
Finally, something Albert can actually do. Play some magic.
Besides role playing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So Deimos.
Yes, the gym was fun.
We've been like mostly role playing for a month, a little bit over a month.
Yeah. Do that, then we do like crazy epic combat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Deimos, this thing is right on the ground in front of you, just like that. Okay? It rears its head and it lets out a shriek, and these little tendrils from its mouth begin to flail and flap, and you guys can start feeling the ground underneath you in several different areas begin to shift and shake. Alright, so now we're rolling initiative. Sorry. It took so long. I tried not to let it take too long for me to set things up in Fantasy Grounds. But I was actually expecting you guys to stay outside for a little while and help fight the people. Help fight the defenses.
Eh. I should have advantage on that initiative roll, so I roll it again.
Yeah. Alright, so we'll take the higher of the two, which was 19. Okay. Albrecht, you see this happening. Deimos is several feet in front of you. What do you do?
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes, it is.
I didn't realize that. I am too far away. Oh, however, I get to dash as a bonus action. Or, yeah, as a bonus action. Is that what we said?
Yeah, with your charger feet?
Yeah, the charger feat.
No, you're not dashing. You gotta dash like normal.
Yeah,
If you
but,
move-
but the class lets me dash as a bonus action.
Yeah.
Battle Rager class. Okay, so I'm going to run forward, my 30 feet.
Okay.
35 feet.
Could have been
Actually,
40
I
if you
can
were a
get there.
dwarf.
Okay.
I can get there. Never mind. So I'm going to not dash. I will grapple him. Yeah, I'll grapple. So
You're gonna grapple it? Okay. So roll to grapple.
Don't grapple if you're going to use a two-hand weapon.
That's right. Never mind. I'm just going to attack him with my flame tongue. Never mind.
Okay. So you moved at least 15 feet in a straight line. So you go lumbering forward in this massive battle charge. You're gonna
Yeah,
use the
I'm
the attack
going
element
to-
of it, right?
Yeah, the attack element of it. So I'm going to add, and I'm also going to use my Great Weapon Master to -5.
Okay.
And so it'll be plus 20. It's going to be plus 20, plus 30 to damage. And then I'm also going to reckless attack so I can get some temporary hit points and give myself
You should
advantage.
you should have buttons for all that. You should be activating
Yeah, I know.
stuff.
I'm just letting you know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So it's -5 to attack, but it's advantage for reckless. It's plus 10 to attack because of your feet.
Yeah, I think that.
Sounds like a lot of buttons for
Yep.
an attack.
Okay, you hit.
Did I activate the flame tongue? Yes, I did.
You didn't activate the 10 from Battle Charger or the 10 from
Yeah.
um,
So it's
Great Weapon
plus
Master.
30. So it's going to be 50 points of damage.
40.
40 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I get a second attack, which it will just, I think is just
Correct. It's your first time using this character.
yeah, it's my first time using this character against a thing, against a creature we can actually kill.
Hit.
All those guards in Taswan I was trying to keep alive, so. Now does Reckless, I haven't played a Barbarian before, does Reckless attack count for both of my attacks?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. So it'll have, and then I get temporary hit points, and I think that's my turn because I would have raged as a bonus action.
Okay.
Yep, that's my turn.
Euphemia, you are up next.
Oh,
And Deimos, you're up after that.
Got it.
I have no idea what this guy does, so I'm going to do my part. I'll just give a bardic inspiration to Deimos. Just a single one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do a blank. Or whatever it's called. Yeah, blank. Level 3.
Okay.
And I'm going to move over here. Roll d20.
You are not.
And I'm still here.
You're still in the zone with them. Alright,
But that's fine, then it's turn.
Deimos, your turn.
Alright, Deimos he said he thinks there's new buddy Albrecht. He thinks he's a pretty tough guy. He says, I'll come back over to you pretty soon. I just want to check stuff out, pretty much set up a perimeter. So I'll walk over here, do like a little sweep of the area around to make sure I don't see like any of these other enemies or anything.
Okay. You feel the ground beneath your feet beginning to rise.
Oh shit, well, I'm guessing I get bumped over or something.
Well, you're standing on it right now.
Oh, straight at top, okay. As I notice that, I will, shoot, dude. And I'm going to, fuck me. I'm gonna, is it really big?
It's
Or just-
larger than you, so
Okay.
you know, but it's large size.
Alright. I am going to cast my shield, sorry, on myself, as my action, because I pretty much spent my bonus thing to search around.
Oh. In panic, I'm going to move this way and Thorn Whip that thing away since it's appearing on the Deimos. And I had.
It hits.
And it will, if it's large or smaller, it moves 10 feet closer to me. So Deimos probably gets away from it, or it just moves.
Okay.
And that would.
Okay. All around you guys, the ground begins to give way as these things emerge from underneath you. The scraggly and screechy call that the first one had given off had summoned these other ones. Let's see here. Rhymeworm 3, its turn. At the beginning of its turn, flakes and like this particles of these crystals are cast into the air all around it. Elwyn, since you started your turn next to it, you take that much cold and necrotic damage.
Ouch.
And then its tendrils rip through the air and try to attack to wrap their way around you. First attack. You're grappled. Second attack, it begins to move its big mouth like protrusion towards you and tries to bite you.
I'll shield that.
Okay. Alright, the one that you're standing under, Deimos, does the same thing to you.
Oh no, I moved it 10 feet away, like with Thorn Whip.
Oh, you
so
pushed it?
It would move.
How far?
Yeah, I pulled it towards me
10
with
feet.
Thorn Whip. So,
Like that?
yep.
Just about. Okay, so it's a very large creature, but it's just the ground begins. It gets dragged across the ground as your thorn whip wraps around it and hauls it. You're definitely not strong enough to move it, but because of your spell, it did so. All right, so here it is. It begins to rear up and slither forward, and it comes to you, Renly.
All right.
All right, here comes the first attack, tendril attack. It's gonna hit. What's your armor?
It's 16. Why is it hitting? Why is it 10? God damn it. Okay.
It's because you took off your armor earlier and you didn't.
But no, but I equipped it for the morning. Oh, this is weird.
So it should be
Oh,
16.
did I press the wrong button? Yeah. Hold on, let me.
Alright, so that's a miss.
There. Okay.
So it's 14?
So my AC is 16.
Okay. Your character sheet says 14. Not quite sure why.
Wait, let me double check this.
Armor, shield, dex max 2. Oh, your stats did not transfer over
Oh.
from the other character.
Damn. Okay. No, it's okay. So it does hit.
Now, you should have 2 dexterity here. 1 second here. I'm filling it in real quick. So your stats will be right.
There you go.
There we go. Okay, now your
Thank
stats
you.
are right. Okay, so first attack misses, second attack comes out, slithering at you. This weird red-shaped tendril comes at you. Oh, it misses too.
That's a miracle. Right there.
Alright, but behind you, a cloud of this crystalline particles in the air does wash over you.
Ugh.
Okay? You take that much necrotic and ice damage, and from behind you, this thing begins to try to wrap you up in its tentacles. Hit. Okay. As this the tendril just slashes at your back, it begins to you can feel the cold begin to seep into your body as it wraps around you and grapples you. Then it's going to try to bring its big proboscis-like mouth over your head. That's going to hit. You take this slashing damage.
Alright.
And because you're grappled, the cold begins to soak through your body.
Oh.
Alright, last one, Albric. You take this much damage because... Oops. There we go. Because you are standing close to it. And it's going to attack you. Hits you because you are reckless. And you are grappled. As it wraps a tentacle around you, it tries to bite you, the same thing.
It's going to take some damage from the spiked armor.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
If this might... I don't know if this will add 2d6 because of the flame tongue guidance. You may have to pull that damage off. It did. So it's just 8 piercing damage it takes for each time it hit me.
Each time?
Yeah. Anytime it successfully melees attacks me.
Okay. Alright. Got it. Oops.
Starting at 14th level, when a creature within 5 feet of you hits you with a melee attack, the attacker takes 3 piercing damage if you're a raging, which I am.
Oh, when your turn.
Which should I apply the raging? First.
You attacked it with Staff of the Magi?
Yeah, I'm gonna bonk it on the top of the head with my Staff of the Magi and use 7 charges to cast Plane Shift.
Okay.
And banish it to the elemental plane of fire.
Okay, does it return if it's not from that plane? Later? Like, is that a, let me just check the spell.
I think it does after a while.
Is that like Banish? Target destination, if you alternatively, here, I'll just link it. You can use a spell to banish an unwilling creature to another plane. Choose a creature within your reach and make a melee spell attack on hit. Charisma saving throw. It fails the throw. It is transported to a random location on the plane you specify. Creature so transported must find its own way back to your current plane of existence.
Oh shit.
The hell?
That's funny.
Alright.
Advanced banishment.
Goodbye.
Bad thing is it's only single creature target. That's the...
Alright.
And now that I'm no longer grappled,
So that just means that all the creatures you fight against from now on are going to have plane shift learned.
alright, I'm gonna get away from them a little bit, so I'm gonna walk that far.
Okay.
And then I will quicken and twin a firebolt.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shoot it at those 2 I have targeted. Die.
Okay. Oh, I need to start equipping bad guys with that. They hit you, they melee you once, you fail a save, and you get transported to the elemental plane of diarrhea.
Don't do that. That's funny, actually. It really would be.
And you gotta find your own way back. Okay, Albrecht, your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to attack him with my sword twice, recklessly, and then with my spiked armor once.
Okay. It's your bonus action, correct? Yeah.
Yeah. Sword twice.
Now I might be wrong, but I know I think in AO stuff, I've seen people use the Great Weapon Master with their spiked armor. I might be wrong though.
I think I see
it
no
a-
reason why you can't use it.
Is it a two-handed weapon?
I don't know what it was. I think there was some ruling on it. I could be wrong though.
Great Weapon Mastery
You-
is limited to two-handed weapons, I'm pretty sure.
Two weapon. That's what I thought. Yeah.
That's the first hit. Second hit. Ooh, crit. Yeah, we programmed that in, so it should do direct round of crit damage. That's what I crit on.
What the?
What? Wait a second here. Flamed
What's
Greatsword,
going on here?
Flame Tongue.
Does he have critical crit?
Because of the brutal critical by the barbarian, you
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
2d6 for each brutal critical you gave me.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
that's your own fault right there.
That's like
Critical,
sneak attack damage.
That is.
2d6. Flame Tongue plus d6 plus 4. Okay. So critical. 2d6 plus 21.
But you got brutal critical off the flame tongue too.
86. You didn't do the 2d6 fire
So
twice?
so yeah, it
Oh, that's
doubled
yeah.
It doubled. So the purples are the original flame damage. The greens after the purples are the
The crit.
critical flame damage.
Yeah.
And every other green is just regular slashing flame damage or
Ooh.
slashing critical
No,
damage.
yeah. Well, two of them are from the crit from your melee, and then the 6. The other ones are from your brutal. Yeah.
Sexy pants, and then plus that 14. Hell yeah.
Okay.
And then spiked armor, which shouldn't, or yeah, it should have advantage, but it shouldn't have the 2d6 that's going to come up because we didn't do a get rid of button for the flame tongue, so we'll have to do that because yeah.
You can just make a random weapon for it.
So it just does 10 plus 13, so it does 23, not 29.
26. But you exceeded it by 11. It's dead. Alright, so
Wonderful.
Damage.
so it splatters all across the ground in front of you.
And
It's big
so,
gobs of blood.
I think my Great Weapon Master. Hold on. When I score a critical hit or reduce a creature to 0 hit points, I did both. I can make one melee weapon. Oh, I did my bonus action.
As a
Never mind.
bonus action.
So I could have hit it with my flame tongue again, technically. But, yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Very nice. Euphemia, your turn.
Okay. I go over here and I will attack this thing. Oh, I'm not going to do anything special, I don't think. Actually. This one a while. And that's it. And I'm still here.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, Damage is just gonna waltz over here, and he is going to uppercut this thing in the face, and then try to grapple it by pulling down its tendril beard thingy.
Okay.
Alrighty, I turn towards the one that is grappling me right now,
Okay.
and I cast Polymorph to turn it into rat.
So damage you grappled it. It's not beating that check. You polymorph to turn you into what?
Into a rat.
A rat. Okay.
I
Oh,
open
no.
my backpack and I'm gonna try to put it into my jar and close it. It will probably suffocate after a while. Done.
All right. So, which one did you do?
One of-
On number.
The
number
one that was grappling me. So I think that was 2. Because
Yes,
I
that was
think
you.
4 missed me.
Once
Okay.
it suffocates, won't it kind of blow up in your bag?
No, it dies.
turn
It doesn't
back?
actually do hit point damage. Suffocation is just dead.
All right. So this.
Damn.
I'm sorry!
So it becomes a rat. It becomes a rat. So it failed its save. So,
Yeah.
poof. Becomes a rat. You pick it up and you put it into your jar. All right. I mean, polymorph has a 1 hour duration. Let's see if it
But
lives
it'll
longer than
lose
an hour.
oxygen before then.
Well, we'll see.
Done.
Wait,
Put some
if
glue
it
around
lives
it.
underground, it probably doesn't need air.
It's a rat now.
The rat now, yeah.
In
A
any
rat
case,
in
I'll
the
leave
box.
it behind. We
Yeah.
can keep going after.
Is it a very large jar? Is it a small jar?
It's a pretty decent size. Like,
Well, it's a decent size
She
for
gets some-
you, or a decent size for
Make
us
it
regular
a
sized
really
people.
small jar. 'Cause this is probably really important.
Okay.
let's see. I will roll it. Let's see. High is big. Low is small. Oh my god!
Okay. Okay.
Smallest
Okay,
jar
so-
will actually fit.
All right. It's taken.
So,
Yeah.
so the rat is like really squished up right up to the glass.
It's taken into account. Take it into account.
Okay, done.
All right. So this one that you're grappling, Deimos, is not very happy with you. It's gonna keep wrapping you in its tendrils, and gonna try to mess you up.
I assure him that's not a very nice idea.
Dang it.
I told him it was a bad idea.
All right, it's leaning back and trying to swing around and slap at you, but you just because by sheer strength you turn it away and you stop its motions and that kind of stuff. All right, Elwin, your turn.
I'm gonna cast Enduring Missiles. And then, as a bonus action, I'll have him just go hit the thing. Oh, yes!
Oh,
Now, what does that do? Is it Spanish into like the sun plane?
no, it just did a lot of damage. It just max damage.
It's 666.
Oh, gross.
All right, Albric.
Same old song. 2 attacks with the sword, 1 attack with the spike armor. Recklessly, of course.
Okay.
Actually, I won't reckless because I didn't lose any temporary hit points last time. So, no reckless. Yep, that's all. I don't need to click any more buttons. I should have. Oh, I hit.
Damn.
And then the spiked armor. So just 23 points of damage.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, that's action, bonus action, and movement.
Euphemia, your turn.
Wait, did I move 15? I don't think I moved 15 feet. I moved 10 feet. Never mind.
You could do like a circle around and then charge in.
True. That's gotta be 15 feet in a straight line. I
Back
guess I
up.
could have taken a step back. Oh well. I did my turn. Euphemia's turn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna repeat. And I'm gone. Do I see anything in the other dimension?
Um. Yeah, you see
Wakenberry?
Robin kind of standing off by a tree, like hiding behind it, like looking very scared. He looks at you,
Wait, is
startled,
he
and
in the other dimension?
he puts his finger to his mouth. He goes, "Shh." Yes, he's hiding in the ethereal plane. And then he winks at you. Deimos, you're up.
Alright, Deimos is pretty much going to pull this thing to the ground as he punches his head down and trying to restrain it so everyone else can kind of beat it down to the ground.
Okay. It is pinned and restrained, and so are you. Alright, Renly, your turn.
Alrighty, I will hit it with my stick. No, let's not do that. Let's just produce the thing. No, this won't work. There we go. Okay. I'm kind of curious about this, whether it would work or not, but yeah. And I'll do this at disadvantage. Oh. Doesn't do any extra damage. Let's see.
Okay,
He's a very curious creature.
yeah, it's slithering around. Deimos has it pinned. It's like a big slug. It's like flopping and squealing and trying to get around. Deimos is going to take, in desperation, it's going to try to just attack you 2 more times.
Alright.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, sorry. The first time, my HP was lower because my first attack I actually hit myself by accident.
So how did you have so much temporary hit points?
I should only have 20, so I should have 5 over.
Okay,
Sorry, I literally just changed it. Sorry about that. So
That's
yeah,
fine.
it should have been 20 temp.
that's fine. Okay, so it hits you the first time, but it doesn't the second time. Ellen, your turn to finish off.
Alright, enduring missiles. There we go.
Okay, the thing splatters in your arms, Deimos, and you feel it just like shrivel up and sink to the ground. So this large curious creature just the sounds of the jungle had kind of ceased while you were fighting. After a few minutes, they pick back up. You hear
I
the
leave the jar behind, and I'm going to slap my staff against the floor, and I cast Speak with Plants, and I ask them to help us find a way out as quick as possible.
okay.
And I use those tree charts.
Yeah, a couple of the trees bend. You see them begin to sway a little bit, and they part the way off to your right, actually. And they create a path to your right.
This way.
Oh, nice.
Okay. They spread, and you guys are no longer being like slapped in the face and stuff with branches and that kind of thing, as they kind of part in front of you as Renly has cast this spell that lets her commune with the plants.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. You head to
I'll
another
be back with
staircase.
water later.
You head to another staircase that takes you up to another level. Okay. As you do so, you hit the staircase and it begins to take you and travel upward. Again, at an accelerated rate. And you find that you've actually entered what happens to be a open passageway. Like obviously this whole tower is constructed and it's made of stone, and in place magically, of course, but very fine craftsmanship. You find yourself in kind of like a hallway in between zones. You traverse it, and the stone beneath you is white, and it's definitely old. This is a very ancient tower, but it's well preserved. Along the walls are crackling flames of small torches in the sconces along this hallway, and you guys are continuing forward. It's in a small, soft semi arc as you're circling the outer edge of the spire, walking forward. Okay. All right. As you round the corner in this hallway, you guys make a perception check.
That's one thing I miss. That old shield I had to give you advantage in perception checks. That was used for youthful.
No kidding. Okay.
We
Da-
are not perceiving anything.
Deimos, you perceive that as you cross a specific area, that the tiles in the ground have shifted slightly. Underneath your feet.
Oh shit, guys! Like, are they moving right now while we're on them, or?
No, you notice it just in time to freeze while you're standing
How
on
high
it.
are the ceilings here?
Ceilings are pretty tall, about 20 feet.
Okay, so I could be flying. I'll do that.
Sure.
How long has it taken us to get through the woods and up these stairs at this accelerated pace?
At your best guess, it's been about an hour and a half.
Would you like to try Windwalk? I mean, time seems to be at the essence right now. Deimos, don't move.
Amos ain't moving.
I mean, I can do a couple. Yeah, I think I can get all of us. It would take a minute to transform and a minute to revert, but we can move very quick.
Do we take damage or something hits us?
Not really. You have resistance, but if anything dangerous happens, then we have to go back and then try.
How much resistance?
Non-magical weapons.
I don't know what that means.
Resistance means non-magical weapon
So
damage is cut in
someone-
half.
So something throws magic at us inside the magic tower filled with magical beasts. We'll probably still get hurt.
That's the rough thing.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay.
As wisps of cloud, you won't be able to cast spells because you can't do the somatic moments.
Yeah, we'd have to go as soon as we hit something. We'd have to go back and transform,
Let's
which
keep
might be
going.
dead.
It's a minute to untransform.
Yes. This is
Yeah,
the thing
like a
that in Critical Role, when they
Billion years in combat.
remember in Critical Role when they were stuck.
This is where they were with the purple worms.
Yep. Because Keyleth cast it on them and it screwed them over for the fight. Almost
So
got them
let's
all
not do
killed.
that.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
All right, you're traveling along your way, and Ava and Robin are going along with you. Ava's pointing out various features along the way, saying that where you're going. This hallway that you're in is like a connecting zone between two larger areas of study.
How does she know?
She
How
smiles. She
does
says,
she know?
"Oh, it's mostly academic. We had to, in our orientation classes, they told us about where we were going and what the geography, or not the geography, the architecture of the spire was consisted of.
I thought no one was allowed in the spire though.
I've
I'm
never
gonna
been
go
here
off.
before.
It's kind of like those people who are sports fanatics. They know everything about the team, but not ever actually be around the team.
Yeah, kind of like that. So Deimos, anyway, you're stepping on a tile, Deimos, and you're half standing on it. You're gingerly trying to keep the pressure on your foot absolutely still.
So guys, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Ellen, how fast are you flying?
Just my regular walk speed.
Swoop down, pick them up, fly the frick away?
I don't
the
know.
Tales of
It
Under
might be
Us
in
All
mine.
movie? Or just his?
Just his.
Hold on, checking
Oh.
my stuff here. I might have a way out.
Don't waste all your spells now, because we're gonna get boned later on. So we gotta be good about this.
All this stuff is called the use up their resources for the real before they get to the real fight stuff.
Wait, so am I out front?
Yes.
Oh no, Deimos, why are you out front? You're not the tank anymore.
Hey, I'm close second.
Albrecht wants to be up front. Okay, both of you are up
Oh
front.
no, we'll switch. I like Work's definitely probably a
How would you be?
actual better tank.
Just like that, I think 2x2, you and me in the front.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. So Deimos, you're stepping on something. Elwyn, you're up in the air.
Deimos is going to
Yes, but I don't want to use up that spell
Sacred
slot.
Flame.
Just make it
shit.
dexterity. Just roll for it, man. Literally roll, as in.
Hey,
cover.
hold on. If I trade places with you, I get advantage on my dexterity saving throw.
How are you gonna trade places with him?
I'll just start blasting shit with Sacred Flames.
All around you?
Yeah, moving
Alright.
tiles and shit.
Alright. Dexterity check.
Ah, I'm good at these. You said check or save.
Check. Okay.
Got
As you
him.
start
Fill him
casting
off the
Sacred
wall.
Flame all over the place, you're trying to, but you can't keep your foot pressure on this plate completely consistent, and it shifts slightly, and all of a sudden, out above you, a small port opens, like directly above you, and a bolt of electricity crackles down from the ceiling and courses through you. Go ahead now, make me a dexterity saving throw.
Don't worry, I'm even better at these. Got it. We're trying to get hit by the lightning, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good.
Okay.
You stick your finger straight up in the air as this happens.
I try to catch the lightning.
Okay.
Lightning can't hit what stands still.
So it's this and lightning damage.
Ow! Here, only I'll get rid of that.
Okay. But the lightning just coalesces in place, and you realize that it was not just a trap; it was actually the summoning of a creature.
Oh, guys, I just summoned a creature. I think I'm Yu-Gi-Oh! It just activated its trap card, guys.
Okay. All right. So, as as that happened, as things zaps into place in front of you, you see other portals begin to open, or other little openings pop into place in the walls all around you, up in the halls around you, that kind of stuff. Little lightning bolts become flashing out of the air around you everywhere, like just zapping through, filling this whole chamber full of lightning. I need everybody now to make me a dexterity saving throw.
And
I
can
use
see it.
absorb element.
You want me to do another one, right?
Yes.
And I can see it. I can see this.
Yes.
That advantage didn't help me anyway
Just
whatsoever.
hey, Deimos, all of a sudden you got very dexterous.
Well, the electricity made me twitch in weird ways.
Renly and Alberic, you both fail.
Indeed. I cast absorb elements as a react.
Okay. So that's 13 points of lightning damage coming to both of you. Renly, that
so
becomes 6. And Alberic, that's 13. Go ahead and add it. I will not be doing it.
Okay. That's 8 for me because of my temporary hit points. Speaking of which, just so you know, the button for my reckless abandon doesn't add numbers to the temporary hit points column.
You can just make one. I'll link it in the chat. You can just change it for yourself, make a thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Alright, so you guys, as that happens, all of these little lightning bolts come flashing out of everywhere, zapping and chasing and everywhere. Most of you manage to avoid them. You've seen the ports opening up and you sidestep them before the lightning comes flashing out. Albric and Renly, you don't quite get out of the way in time and you get tagged. And you realize that this was not just electricity flying. These were actually creatures being summoned. Roll initiative.
Hey, they're cute. Can we keep them?
Sure.
How long has it been since the last battle?
Not terribly long. About half an hour.
Okay.
I realized why I wasn't doing it. It wasn't doing it because I wasn't targeting myself.
Yeah. You can have a, just click it for target self if you
Yeah.
want.
It was targeting. I was adding temporary hit points to the things I was attacking.
Oh, this one. I know I kept like hitting the monsters and just damaging myself.
Okay.
Now it's working.
Speaking of which, Renly, are you still concentrating on that polymorph spell?
I left the jar back where we were, so it doesn't matter.
Holy
I was like, I put it on the ground.
Man, she's probably the most evil one out of all of us.
Alright.
I'm neutral good, damn it.
Yes, totally, yes, wink wink.
Neutral good. Alright, this gremlin comes charging out of the air, and it is actually kind of like hovering in the air. These things are flying. It comes right up to you, Elwyn, who you're also flying. And it's going to just do a little, it's going to reach out to you and do a little melee attack at you. Oops, is that a hit or not?
Yeah, that would have hit, but I'll shield.
Okay, so it misses. Another one comes up as well. Let's do the same thing. Misses. This creature back here, this mysterious blue creature, just kind of shimmers in place and vanishes and reappears over here next to you, Albric. Why can I not target? What?
Yeah, I don't think you pulled us. I don't think you have the right characters on the map for us.
Did I screw that up?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Oh,
There's
we
no
have
on
to
the
have the green bars on.
1 second, I might have grabbed him from the wrong spot.
We're immune, guys. Can't die.
Okay. Targets you. There we go. Alright. Slam attack. Misses. Oops. There we go. Alright. Misses. Second attack comes your way. Misses as well. Euphemia, you see these things begin to come into existence and start moving in your direction. What do you do?
My turn?
Yes.
By the... Oh, you said it was 30 minutes. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna cast another blank. And, attack this guy.
Can you hit? your sword comes flashing out, and its form is made out of like condensed lightning energy, but you can feel that your blade is cutting into it, and there is some kind of corporeal form underneath it.
Or that I poof right after I hit it.
Okay.
Do I see anything?
You see Robin cowering in a corner.
Oh, damn it.
Alright. So you are invisible. Gremlins.
Another plane.
Yeah, fly into place. Elwyn, you're up.
Okay. That line that I just drew, I'm gonna bring up a wall of fire facing west.
Nah.
Target them real quick.
How high is the wall?
It's gonna take up the whole, as high as it can go.
Okay.
Here, I'll link it.
That's fine. It should be able to cover it up.
20 feet high.
Yeah.
It's those Elwyn saves. You can't hit a 24.
5, 6. Okay. You hear their screeches and snarls as the flames engulf them.
And I'll just keep my firewall up there so they can't see on this side.
Okay. These gremlins are. That one's gonna just flutter in place and rush over here. Not quite sure what to do. This guy is going to come here actually, and he comes up to these two gremlins, and you can see them attached to him, sort of, like touch him, and he shimmers out of existence there, and they all just arrive on this side of the wall.
We can't see past the wall and they can't see past this wall. Would that any difference?
He teleported to the other one.
They're all linked together.
There's like
Are they
electric-
like in the dimension?
They're not in
It's
the
like-
ethereal realm. No. They're electrically conductive to each other. And if I can actually hit you with an attack, you guys would see what would happen. So let's see what happens. Come on, attack. Deimos
Who's
miss.
he attacking?
He's attacking Deimos.
Deimos? Yeah.
Both miss. Okay, Albrecht, you're up.
Okay, yeah, the usual deal. Yeah, I'll go recklessly and I'll attack, Geist 3.
Hit. Okay.
Oh, gross.
Still alive?
He's still alive.
Crap.
Damn, more gross.
Now, hold on a
does the
second.
Brute-
How does that work with your armor?
Yeah, that'll be different. It should work. Just go ahead and roll it.
Okay, again, it's gonna do the fire damage again, so.
That didn't work.
No, it did work. It's just minus.
No, it's,
Oh,
too, it's
no,
too
it
many of the
copied.
d8s. It did too many d8s because I had that set for your sword, so it doubled
Well,
the d8s.
wouldn't the brutal critical apply to my armor?
I think that'd be too OP.
It does 6. It's right now. It's doing 6 extra dice, so 3 of those should be removed.
Oh yeah, it's doing 6.
9,
Yeah,
10,
okay.
11, 12. Minus 12 minus the 8 fire, so minus 20.
Yeah, it's doing it's doing too many D10, but
Yeah, too many it's the correct number of d6s, but too many d10s.
yeah, okay then. You know, I should just get this armor upgraded to deal fire damage, so I don't have to worry about taking that off. Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, it's still up.
Fill up. Okay. Yeah, I don't got something that lets me surge, so that's all I got.
Okay, this gremlin next to you is going to try to attack you. Hits. You take lightning damage.
It
And-
takes eight piercing.
Okay. And you must make a Constitution save, which you succeed, so you're okay. Okay, Geist number 1 is going to attack you, Albric. Hits.
Takes 8 piercing.
Takes 8 piercing. You make a dexterity saving throw.
Should have advantage because I can see it.
Yeah. And you succeed. So that effect does not apply to you. Second attack hits. Takes 8 piercing.
Takes more. Yep.
One more dexterity saving throw for you. You have advantage. And you succeed. Man, these high rolls. Alright. Gremlin number 11 is going to fly up to you, Elwyn. Wait a
Yeah, that
second.
hits.
It shouldn't have had advantage. Oh, never mind. Let's re-roll this.
Oh, by the way, you still have me and Raylan grappled.
Okay, I'm taking that off. That was from the slugs earlier.
Yeah, I was just letting you know it was still applied.
Okay. Okay, Damos, your turn.
Alright, Damos is going to be a nice person. 'Cause he's totally a nice person. He's going to try to hit the Gremlin 15, whatever it is, by Elwyn.
Mhm. Hit. Okay.
And then bonus action, I'm
Hold
going
on.
to use...
1 second.
Oh, sorry.
You make a Constitution saving throw. You fail.
Oh, never mind. I might not do something.
Okay. You are basically as you touch it, as you slam your fist into it, you can feel its flimsy body beginning to break underneath you. But the static discharge of electricity into your hand, you can feel it begin to like course up your arm, and it doesn't really hurt, but you can tell that something happened as you hit it. It's basically like
Uh-oh.
charged you. Let's just call it that.
Fuck that.
All right, your turn.
If I can still move, then I guess I'm going to use one of my War Priesty thingies, so I can use my bonus action for another attack on this
Okay.
other gremlin.
Hit. Okay.
Then
Bust that
con save again.
1 second here. Reading the spell. No, you're already charged.
Uh-oh. Alright, that will be me.
Alright, so Gremlin, once you've been charged, it's like it's like they all start turning towards you. And they just kind of zip in your direction. This one's going to attack you. It's a hit. Damage to Damos. Damos, make a con save. You succeed. Everyone else around you, let's see, well, within 10 feet of you.
Oh, shit.
Elwyn, how high are you up in the air? I think your foot would be within 10 feet of Deimos.
Yeah, I think. I'm sorry, I was just talking on mute. Yeah, I would have been within the 10 feet.
Okay. Everyone around you takes 4 points of lightning damage. As all of a sudden this thing rushes up to you, it attacks you, and the lightning energy just kind of like is amplified as it courses through your body and just zaps everywhere in the room.
No dex save?
Nope.
Okay.
4 points of damage to everybody. You can add it yourself. Yeah, add it yourself.
Yeah, I already got mine.
Okay. Gremlin number 13. Your firewall is still up, right? Elwin,
Yeah.
did you make a Constitution saving throw? Concentration check?
Oh, no, I did not.
Ha! You're fine. Gremlin back here is still hanging out. This gremlin here is going to do the same thing. Zip over to Deimos. Fly over to you. Targets you. Misses. Renly, your turn.
Alrighty, I am going to use my bonus action. Well, yeah, I'm going to use my bonus action to transform into a mammoth. So I will be huge.
A mammoth.
What?
Yes. And I am going to then move forward through my companion spaces and start shoving. So I'm going to do 2 shoves towards Electrogeist 1 and 2 and try to shove them into the wall. I'm not quite sure how that'll work with the gremlin. I think things are squeezed out when I well shape. I'm not sure.
Yes.
But I would be like 9 squares big. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So
Do I have a mammoth? I don't think I have a mammoth token. Damn it.
ooh,
Oh,
okay,
shit.
that would be the monster manual.
Yeah, I have the
I could-
no, I have the creature. I just don't have a picture of it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. No worries.
Here's
I'll
the
put it in
creature.
as temp points, and I'll adjust my AC.
No. Wait. Here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the
Oh,
character.
okay, you have one.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the character in there. It's gonna have your initiative.
And I can walk past the gremlin because I'm huge, and that will be my attacks, like
Oops, I
to
did
shove
that.
them into the wall fire.
All right. Unfortunately, I don't have your. Let me move your character away here. Okay. I don't have a picture of it, but that's what happens there. It pushes a gremlin away, but these things are small anyway. Euphemia, you are in the ethereal plane, right?
Yep. Hey, that means I don't take damage.
You don't take damage.
Exactly.
Ah.
And so they're pushed,
electrical
and
damage.
I am going to try to basically shove, I guess. Yeah, so I'm gonna shove. I'm not sure if I can get both, but yeah, I'm just gonna move forward and shove with all my might. That's all.
Move.
So it probably
the 2
strength.
electrogeists,
Yes.
and you're gonna try to
into the
shove
wall of
them
fire.
into the wall of fire. What about Deimos and Albrecht?
Exactly. They won't. I'm huge, so they're 2 sizes smaller. I walk through them with difficult terrain, and then I'm gonna move back. Hopefully, the electrogeists are behind the wall and won't get off attacks, but the gremlins will.
Okay, so you're
And then
trying
I
to
go back
shove the 2 electric. You're going to go up and try to basically reach over Deimos and Albrecht and knock the 2 electric guys into the wall fire.
Yes, with all of my mass.
All right, and you
And I
can do
will
2
do-
creatures.
I can only do 1, so I'm gonna try to get my because I only have 1 attack kind of thing.
Yeah,
So,
you get one of them. Which one?
and I rolled a.
Hold on, it has to. It has to do contested checks, so it could fail theoretically.
with an 8.
All right, it fails.
Oh!
Wow.
Okay, so you
Okay.
shove Electrogeist 1 backwards 10 feet. Elwyn, go ahead
Yep.
and make it do your wall of fire do fire damage to it. So it fails that.
Oh yeah, and it's automatic damage at this point, like if they're in there. And I go back and I incur op attacks from Electrogeist 2 and 4,
You
and
can always stand over us.
I think it's difficult terrain, but I'm happy to stand over
Yeah,
y'all.
it's fine. You're much larger. It's fine. You can stay there.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so you have
Okay,
this.
that
You
would
guys
be
have
my
this
turn.
massive, wrinkly mammoth standing over you guys.
That-
All right. Unfortunately, the Electrogeists are immune to fire damage.
Oh, at least he found.
Elwyn. Gremlin attacks you, misses. Electrogeist number 3 is going to swing around to you, Deimos.
Oh, why is Damo so pretty?
Because you are attractive to them.
Ah, damn straight I am.
Now
It's
that you
those
have
glute exercises.
now
I
that
do.
you have been touched. And if this hits you, this could be bad. Damn it. Second attack.
Don't say damn it.
I want it to hit. Oh, what the hell! I have advantage on these. I can't. Piece of crap. Alright, Euphemia, your turn.
I want to stand up there around forever.
You have no choice. You can move 10 feet, but you're coming back into this plane.
Yeah. By the way, I'm gonna come back here.
Mhm.
But if I sit here, does the wall of fire hurt me?
No, it's only the other side.
Okay, then I'll sit. I'll sit right there. My targeting. Okay. I'll attack this one. Oh, it died.
Okay.
Then I guess I'm going to see. And I'm still here.
Ellen, your turn.
Alright, simple. I'm going to acid splash the guys standing next to each other.
Okay.
And I'm gonna drop concentration on my wall of fire. I will quicken. Another acid splash and get those two. Oh, one succeeded.
Okay. Alright. Electrogeist number 2 is going to move into where you are, Deimos, and we're going to try this again.
Oh, why can't we all just be friends?
Come on, you piece of crap. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I can't roll over 15 even with advantage.
It's fine, guys.
Look at this
Don't hit me.
garbage. Look
Oh,
at this stupid
that's
garbage.
great, guys. You're
I don't understand.
fantastic.
Albert, your turn.
Okay.
We love you, Effie.
So I'm in no danger of being under this mammoth.
No, you're fine.
Okay, I want to attack Electrogeist number 2 then.
Sorry. Euphemia. Sorry, 1 second. You attack that gremlin.
What?
And Euphemia needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Why?
Because
Because-
you hit the gremlin with your sword.
Yeah? What am I concentrating on?
Constitution saving throw, not concentration.
Oh.
Constitution.
That was my con. Saving throw?
Okay. Alright, you're good. You are
Okay.
attractive as well. Albrecht, your turn.
Okay.
You get polarized as well, Euphemia. As you destroy the thing, you
So
feel
I'm not good.
that you know you're not good.
But you said I was good.
Well, good for me.
Good to them.
Good to
Good
them.
for the DM, yes.
Your turn, Albrecht.
Okay, like I said, attack 2, usual deal.
Okay.
Recklessly, of course.
Hit. Okay.
4 6s. Nice.
That's pretty good.
Beautiful.
Another hit. Alright, you're slashing into it. You can feel its form is somewhat corporeal and somewhat not, so you're not doing full damage to them, but you are cutting away at their form. You can feel them starting to flinch a little bit.
Do I have to be making Constitution saving throws?
You do not.
Oh, crit. So, it's with the armor again, so it's going to be weird.
Yeah.
So it's I do 3 extra
19,
dice.
23. Okay, I got it.
You got it?
Yep.
Because I'm behind already.
I got it. Anything else?
No, that's all I got.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just moving you back slightly so I can see these characters. Let's see. Electric Ice
No
number
problem.
1 is going to rush towards you, Euphemia, sensing the beautiful and the lovely sense of your polarized body in the air. Here it comes at you.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see who's close to you. Albrecht is the only one within 10 feet. Albrecht, you take 5 points of lightning damage. You add it
That
yourself.
was my temporary hit points.
Euphemia, one more attack at you.
26.
Albrecht, 5 more temporary hit.
You know, I was
Points of lightning damage.
thinking of. I'm gonna actually shield. Oh no, I can't shield.
Not 26, I don't think. Yeah,
That would
it
match
would
it.
it would still hit. Okay.
So I do take
Oh,
5.
Yeah, technically I'd get it too, so the
Yeah, you
mammoth
would.
would have 10.
Yeah, the mammoth would take 10. Okay, so that was his turn. Gremlin 11 up here. Gonna fly over to Deimos.
I'm the prettiest of all of them.
There you go, Deimos, on you. Misses. Crap. Alright, Gremlin 2. Let's see what kind of range it has here. Ooh, just within range. Has 40-foot fly speed. Up to Euphemia. Hits with 27. Lightning damage, and to Albrecht and the elephant, 3. As shocks fly through the room. Deimos, your turn.
Alright, Deimos pretty much feeling like he's the center of attention and the greatest thing that ever happened to these electric people. He's gonna go in super tank mode, and he's gonna kind of just... yeah, fuck that, actually. He's gonna punch a dude.
Okay. Okay, you blow him up in the face.
Then I'm gonna move into this space, and then I'm gonna taunt all these guys by showing all my sexy moves.
Okay. Gremlin number 1 is going to see your sexy moves, and is going to come attacking you. Misses. Gremlin 13 is going to come over here to Euphemia. Because I can hit Euphemia. Hits.
I'm gonna.
You gonna shield that?
it.
Okay, so you get the
Yeah.
9 back. I'll do the 9.
That was a 1.
Okay. So that misses. Renly, your turn.
Alright, I had a quick question. The trap that Deimos set off, did it look like the elementals were stored in the walls, or did it look like they'd been conjured, like that had set off like a glyph or something?
They
Didn't you
were
say
basically
they mounted
released.
ceiling?
They were released from where they were.
Okay, and so not from a different plane or something.
Correct.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I will just hit Electrogeist 2, which is next to me in actuality, and that'll be about it.
Did you cast Polymorph to become the mammoth? Or Shape Change?
No, Wild Shape.
Okay, you're fine.
Yes, I'm not concentrating.
Yep. Alright, you
And-
hit it.
My favorite thing
And
to shape change into as a wild shape druid is giant octopuses.
They're so cute.
But those are
and
only
I can't
for
change my turn?
close quarters.
Okay.
Those are only for close quarters because you only got 10 feet of walking speed.
I know, right? Half the things are so slow.
Going for Albrick. Hit. Lightning damage. Constitution saving throw. You are fine. Oh, you have high concentration. Euphemia, your turn.
I'm a dwarf barbarian who's raging with a ring of protection. My con save is plus 13. My strength save is plus 15.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna attack him.
Which one? The Electrogeist or the Gremlin?
The big guy.
Okay. So you're targeted on... Hold on, let me change this.
Oops.
Yeah.
I thought I untargeted him.
You hit him anyway. All three were hits, so just roll damage. Okay, you slash into him with your sword. It seems to be finding purchase in him.
Didn't have much damage. And I'm gone.
Okay, you vanish. Elwyn, your turn.
Acid splash these dudes. And I will quicken another one.
Okay. Got them both. Alright. I removed it. Albrecht.
So
Okay, so this guy, he's gonna attack you, Deimos.
Oh, I do
Politely
have
ask him
Sentinel,
not
so
to.
when I see this, when I see him move to attack Deimos, I will go.
So does that mean you get to hit him too?
Yes, as a reaction, I use my reaction to hit something that's attacking someone within, if it's within.
5 feet of you?
Yes, that's.
He's not in 5 feet of you. But since you have...
No, I'm over you.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
I'm over Albrecht. Yeah.
Okay.
And I hit.
Does that go off before his hit or during his hit?
No, I think it goes off after.
It interrupts, but I do not know if it's before or after.
Yeah, I
I think it's
think...
before.
I'm gonna say he gets one of his attacks
Either
off on
way.
Deimos.
Yeah.
Oh!
It will, mainly because I think it might make the DM a little bit mad. I'm going to use one of my War God blessings.
Okay, he dies. Alright,
okay.
Albrecht.
I'll move up to Geist number 1. Recklessly, of course.
Okay.
Reckless a bit. I'll roll to see if I hit. Which I do. Try the new button. Hey, the new button works.
Okay.
And then with my spiked armor.
Okay, he's starting to take heavy damage from you as you're cutting into him.
So, are they completely ignoring all fire damage?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Gee.
whether my sword is on or not has no coincidence.
It should be ignoring fire damage. Let me see. Wait, were you rolling damage on them?
Yes, I was rolling. All the purple dice were fire damage.
They're taking all of that from you.
I may have programmed that button wrong then. But I just typed in 2d6 fire. So,
Was fire lowercase? Yeah. They shouldn't be taking this fire
DMG.
damage.
Yeah. Before they were ignoring it because I remember reading the partially resisted, but
Yeah.
I must have done something to set up. So my
Let me
bad.
I'm gonna roll some fire on him to see if mine works. I don't see mine doesn't go through.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fire lowercase 2d6 space fire. It's a
I'll
roll. It targets myself. Ends on the roll. 0 rounds.
I'll check it out later. But so
Yeah.
they didn't. He didn't take that fire damage.
Yeah. So he didn't take.
Yeah, you rolled a lot of fire damage. So, all right. On his turn, he is going to
18 fire
turn to you since Euphemia is not there, and he's going to. Hold his attack until number 2 goes. Number 2 is going to attack you. Damn it. Okay. Now number 1 is going to attack you. Miss. Hit. And from you, dexterity saving throw. Oh, that should be lightning damage.
And that 8 should go on him. I thought I was targeting him.
Okay, I'll put the 8 on him.
And it should add advantage to if you make me roll a dex save. So. Or I can roll it.
Here's a dex save. You're fine. Okay, Deimos, your turn.
Deimos is going to take out this last guy, hopefully.
Hit. Oh.
Fantastic.
Splatter him all over the place.
Here's that if it still matters. Then I'm going to kind of waltz over to this guy.
Okay. Number 2's turn. Or number 13. Attacking you, Albrecht. Since you're the only one within sight. It's a hit. Damage, lightning, constitution saving throw. You succeed, so you're fine. Renly, your turn.
Alrighty, I go forward. Well, is it possible to perhaps back up a bit? Like, is there space behind, or is there just stairs?
No, there's a large hallway behind you.
Okay, I will go back 20 feet and then move 20 feet, but I have mobile, so I have 50. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I am going to go Electrogeist 1, or no, I'll just do Gremlin 2.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I can do Electrogeist 1 if it's moving in a straight line. So I'll do
You're gonna have that'd be a little
as Gremlin.
awkward to get over Albrecht.
Yeah,
to get to him.
exactly. So I'll just do as a Gremlin 2, and
Okay, destroyed it.
oops, okay, fine, never mind. And then I move up here. Oh no, that would be it for my movement. Yeah, done.
Euphemia, you pop back into existence, and you realize you've seen your friends cleaning up all these creatures around you, but there are 2 left.
Okay, I'll continue my attacks. The one I was after. Oh, there.
Oh.
Yay, is that one dead? First one?
You're gonna have to go damage. Severing its head doesn't really do anything.
Do I get the
You get the critical
the
damage.
sever damage?
Yes.
What is that?
It's like an extra.
$68. So that's what it takes to that.
Okay.
I don't know how to add it.
I'll add it.
He's still alive?
He's barely alive.
Okay, well then that other attack focus.
Okay,
Alright
killed
then.
him.
Well, just in case I'm gone.
All right, Elwin. There's one left. Okay.
Pew pew pew.
But he's immune to fire.
These guys, the
Oh no, only the guys.
No.
Okay. Okay, you're right. Okay. So with the last of the gremlins evaporating and the electrogeist being these elementals that were released, just being destroyed, you kind of hear a voice come over, just like floating through the air. I see you're having fun with my pets. Keep going. You'll find me soon enough. It's been years since I've had someone to toy with. Okay.
creepy guy.
Yeah, and often the distance, you catch a glimpse of the shadows, like the darkness that was back off this way, far away, just kind of move a little bit, then just kind of like fade away as the hallway just opens up further in front of you. Okay, it was previously obscured by shadows further down, but the shadows just kind of melt away, and you can
Well,
hear the
dang.
voice going off along with the shadows. Okay, because the other Magni that was in here is the Magnus of Shadows. All right, so that's where we'll call it for today. You guys are working your way up the Silver Spire. Um, something
It's
is
like a wizard tower crawl, but with more at stake.
yeah, something has obviously happened, and there is much at risk since the land of Mistrala is under heavy siege from its own defense systems. Telifos is nowhere to be found, having broken off to do battle with the Magnus of fire and flame, of darkness and flame, and the other Magnus here is who you're contesting with. Why they're acting the way they are, you can only guess at, and what will await you further up in the tower, you're not quite sure. But that's where we'll leave it for now.
Oh, I appreciate you running the game. It was a lot of fun.
Yep. Thanks.
Okay,
That
guys.
was
Yeah, that was fun. Very fun. Have a good night, guys. I will catch you next week,
Same.
same time, same place.
All right. See you guys next week.
All right, cool. Take care.
Have a good night.